All right, there we go.
Yeah, so there's a lot of flowers in the house, which look super nice, but my throat is so flippin' scratchy right now, and my sinuses, like, just,
They're not liking
That,
the
that that's when
freshness.
that's when
no.
Kerr insert. Oh, your throats. I've got some soothing.
Oh,
Yeah.
geez, stop.
Yeah.
I
Happy
have a
Mother's Day.
I have a remedy for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, all the people who love you showed you by bringing you flowers, and now you're suffering. It's
I am.
the horrors of Mother's Day.
I've never
and
had so
love.
many bouquets of flowers and arrangements. It's very
Yeah.
Well,
pretty.
I got a lovely phone call from my gram overseas. It was
Excellent.
hard to hear him a little bit, but it was nice that he was able to get a call in.
Good.
So,
Well, I'm glad.
yeah,
I'm glad he called.
I know that was nice.
Are you allowed to say where he is?
Yeah, he right now he's in Qatar.
Okay.
Yeah, so he made it there safely, and he's been hit the ground running as soon as he got there.
Good.
But him and like 6 other guys are the only ones who aren't in quarantine because they had their shots.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're the only ones who can leave the base. You can't leave the base if you don't have shots.
Okay.
So I guess the rest of the crew are probably gonna get their shots over there.
I'm not sure if I would leave the like right away. Like it would take me like a month
Oh,
of getting
no,
in.
no.
Maybe like, hey,
No, he's
what are
ready.
the areas where I'm not going to get raped or
No.
murdered?
I don't
I don't
know.
know.
I mean, what are you worrying about? You're crazy.
I don't know.
You're a crazy person.
Lot of
There's a
crazy.
lot of
Beautiful.
that happening everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere. Yeah,
Yeah.
If I went to a new city, I wouldn't just venture out.
This
in the
is
middle.
one of the few wealthiest.
Yeah, Qatar is
Cities.
absolutely beautiful. If we ever go to the Middle East or that region, I would definitely do that in Dubai with
Yeah. Oh,
with no
Dubai,
problem.
yeah.
Well, he's not. It's not.
Yeah, the UAE is pretty.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. But Qatar, like you know nothing, and you're just talking shit.
I just just Dubai. You just
Well,
know
anyway,
Dubai.
he's on a Air Force base, which he's like, he scored because their standards of like setup is way different than the Army's, and people are always like, oh, don't you think that's gonna be like, hey, I stayed on the Air Force base like that. You're not an Army base. He goes, no, because the Air Force are like, it's like a country club. They have everything. He goes, you go to the Army base, you're basically in a tent. He goes, I'm eating well. You can all stay in your tent over wherever you are. He said it's very well done, that base. So,
Now, is he on the Air Force base because he was vaccinated? So
no, that's just where the way it's partnered up. That's just the base that we have there is through the Air Force. So, and there's the Army spread out throughout the Middle East, but for Qatar, that's where they're partnered with the Qataris is the Air Force. But for what Graham's mission is and what he's doing, has to go through them.
Okay.
So, yeah.
That does make sense.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool. He said he's it's hot. So hot. It's so much more humid than Florida ever thought to be. When it says it's 100 degrees heat, it's also 100 degrees humidity. He's like, and they don't have
less. That's
it just feels, he's like, it's just so hot. But they don't
Your
have
lungs would
water.
explode, right, Kevin?
They don't have water.
No, you
Like a water, like they don't have like fresh water and stuff, so they do it through like their ocean, so it's filtrated and so it's a little salty. And he goes, oh, that makes sense. We're basically sweating to death and have to drink water that has salt, so we just keep drinking more salty water.
That sounds
So
disgusting.
the base, he said, everywhere is just bottled water, and he goes, but it's sitting out in the sun, so it's like drinking boiled water all day.
No, Carrie, if it was 100 degrees out and 100% humidity, you can't sweat. So
That's
you would
what it
actually,
Yeah.
you would actually cook like a microwave
Right.
from the inside out.
That's
Mr.
what it was.
Mr. Sheldon,
talked
thank you
about
for
before.
the science.
Yeah.
I
I
remember
was,
talking about that
obviously
before.
exaggerating,
Yeah.
but it's hot.
Yeah.
It's hot as
We can have,
I
we can have
thought-
Kevin's science corner.
I
know.
thought the desert was a dry heat, like Arizona. I didn't know it was humid.
Well, I don't know what it's like over there, but there's humidity and it's
Yeah.
hot.
Yeah.
It's all desert.
Yeah, I thought deserts were dry.
And
I
at
don't know.
night, he thought it might cool down. He said no, it's still like 90 degrees at night.
Yeah.
So,
I have to imagine if you're, and apologize, my voice is spent. I almost didn't even do the show tonight.
He has no voice. He's very raspy.
It's a very dry voice, like a dry heat.
Do you have
Dry-
allergies?
Yeah, it's like
too?
it's like a dry heat.
Yeah. But imagine if they're by the ocean, I can understand the humidity.
Yeah, I
But-
don't know. I don't know how close they are to the ocean.
Don't listen, Kevin. You don't get to
Well,
talk
yeah.
now. You might be Mr. Science about
I-
other
I
things,
don't- I
but
We
don't
know
he
not
has,
Mr. Geography. We
he
know
is
that's
not
right.
He's
Mr.
Googling
Geography.
right now.
You mean Honduras is it next to New Zealand? That is right, Kevin.
Yeah.
Neither is Nicaragua.
Oh yeah, it is right on the water.
Yeah, I didn't make that up. Like in my
I'm not saying
conversation
that.
with him. But anyway, so they have like a filtration system and for the water, and so in certain parts it says, you know, this has this much percentage of salt versus this. So like each, I guess, the filtration system is different. So he's just been drinking hot bottled water. He's
Yeah,
like,
man.
I don't really need any more salt in my body.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't know the capital is Doha. So yeah, that's like Dubai. Yeah, it's
Mhm.
actually a pretty nice
Why
place.
don't you listen to me?
I thought it was a shithole.
No,
What?
not
Why
at
would
all.
you? Well,
That
first off,
is some money area right
Yeah.
there,
Yeah,
and
the
that's a
10th
hot spot to go vacationing pre-COVID.
The 10th most peaceful country globally. Look at that.
Heard it's absolutely beautiful.
look at that.
Yeah.
So he's excited to get off
Kevin,
vape.
Kevin heard Middle East and he was just like, fuck, what is that like freaking like but Harry in Jersey
Yeah.
Where?
with down near Philly.
What is by Philly?
Like,
Like the bad areas.
You're talking about over by the water there,
Fuck is-
Belmar? Are you talking about Belmar?
no, I think he's
No.
talking more in like where the
You know what I'm
murder
talking
the
about.
murder capital of New Jersey over
Not Trenton.
not Trenton, Clinton.
Newark?
Newark,
Newark,
yeah.
New Jersey?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not.
Yeah,
That's
That's
like
north.
Way,
That's
like
near
two.
where I
That's
live.
like an hour maybe
Yeah.
away from where I grew up.
That
I
place
got-
is a
you guys
shithole.
got me.
No,
fucking
it's not.
Kevinized here.
You're
Newark-
Newark is
Newark is
That's
where
like
they-
3 towns over from where
They
I live.
they'll pull
Newark
bodies.
is nice now.
Yeah.
Leave them. Well, certain parts I'm sure are still not.
This garbage.
The airport is like one of the freaking craziest airports.
Yeah.
You have to go as fast in the airport as you do on the roads, on the turnpike.
Yeah.
It's like if you don't walk that fast, you're getting trampled over.
Yeah, the first person off the plane actually has to chalk the wheels. That's how bad it is.
Yeah.
No.
Mm.
I don't know. I just grew up there, so it doesn't phase me. Yeah. But you got Elizabeth, you got Islin, you got.
No, I know where he's thinking of. I can't think of the. It's out towards Philly on the border of New Jersey and Pennsylvania. Like I can feel my sinuses filling up as we speak, so it's hard
I
to
don't know where he's
concentrate.
talking about.
I don't know. It'll come to me.
It'll
Mhm.
pop in your
It'll
head
pop in my
mid-show.
head.
He'll just spurt out a
Yeah.
city name, and we'll know what it was in reference to.
Yeah.
So Jen, happy birthing person's day. That's what we're supposed to call it now.
No, I will not accept that.
Birthing person's day, because somehow Mother's Day is offensive to.
Not to me.
Yeah,
So-
I know. I don't know which group though. That's what they're not. They're just saying
Well,
we should.
Here's the issue, though. You still have to be female to birth a child, to at least have the female organs. So, therefore, you are a mom.
So is there a difference between actually, you know what, should we do our intro?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
All right.
All right. All right.
Jessica's
I'm
waiting to-
Kevin. I'm Kevin.
I'm Jessie.
I'm sorry. Jessica just looked frozen. God.
I'm just waiting for I'm waiting for your guys' dialogue
All right,
to get
all right.
kicked
Oh,
off.
it's gonna get exciting. Go ahead, Kevin.
All
I'm sorry,
right.
man.
All right. We'll try it again. I'm Kevin.
I'm Jessie.
I'm Kerr,
I'm Jen.
and we are
The Broadleaf
Broadleaf
Bullies.
Bullies.
Fucking hey, man, you're all over that one.
We talk. You listen. We are the Broadleaf Bullies. And here's your hosts, Kev, Kerr, Jessie, and Jen.
Stupitis.
I have allergies. I'm allergic to stupid people. It's
Yeah.
no problem.
Exactly.
So
So tell us,
happy
Kevin, enlighten
birthing
us.
people day. But that means that in order to celebrate Mother's Day, you'd have to birth people. So then you'd have to segment today's day into women, not people who identify, but people who are actually biological women who birth babies. And then those who have adopted, because they're still in that category. And then maybe those who identify as women and has a child and is in that motherly role. So you'd have to have it segmented, correct? Is that
so
what you're
saying happy birthing day would be offensive to people who adopted, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Well, no, birthing persons, you know.
Person.
So that wouldn't be offensive to someone that adopted.
Well, why would it be?
Why you can't say Happy Mother's anymore? I don't know. I
happy inability to birth a person day.
Well, but there's Father's Day, so if it's two guys adopting or a guy adopting a child or have a child, then they're a father. So there's two holidays.
So what are they going to say during Father's Day?
Well, and that pisses me off right there. Father's Day. Let me get these fucking.
Well, first off, I just want to make a statement about the happy birthing person's day.
Camden's the city.
Camden.
Yes, murder capital of New Jersey.
So go ahead.
It is.
Kevin and I are on the same boat in this one here because not once did I post today Happy Mother's Day and all those single fathers who are doing it every single fucking day as a mother and a father.
And that happens on every fucking Father's Day. These women that come in, I'm a single mom. You had your holiday, bitch. This is our fucking day now. This is our day. Take a back seat.
I cannot wait till Father's Day, Jess. When is that in June? The third Sunday in June?
It's so irritating.
I'm stupid.
All right, well, guess what? It's not fucking Father's Day.
It's Mother's Day.
So shut up.
It's a holiday for me and Jess.
I would like to finish saying what I was saying. Are you done?
I'm done.
Holy cow.
I'll wait till that Father's Day show.
Ooh.
It was going to be my day.
Well, it's not now, so you can stop. I don't really care that they call it that because I'll continuously say Mother's Day because that's how I, prefer it. And I'll be damned if anyone's going to tell me I can't say Mother's Day, but I don't care if they say whatever they want.
People call it whatever they want. It is Mother's Day to me.
It doesn't affect me in any way, but it doesn't affect you.
Why? Why is the name got to change?
Because for whatever reason they feel that that's what they need to do to feel
to do what
good about themselves. In society,
and there's other issues involved.
With whom?
I'm so
tired
of it.
You got it, Jen.
I'm tired of it.
Yeah, with whom and for what?
Here's the thing, though: the more you give, it's almost like if you feed into it, the more you keep feeding it, and it stays.
Oh, it's continual.
Relevant.
It's just we see it every day.
I see
literally
stuff all the time, and I'm like,
feel we are such the minority right now in life with just everything. It's insane. It's just insane. I don't
know. I've been watching Shameless. I don't know if you've ever seen that show.
No, it's on Showtime, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it's on Netflix. The last season, just the season 11 is on Showtime, but every other season is on Netflix. I'm on the 11th season, starting to end. Holy cow. I love that show so much.
No,
you want
we
to talk
just
about
started watching Jupiter
single
Heroes or something.
Topic and inappropriateness and things you wish you could say to people is in this show. Wow. This show is
epic. That with Macy?
William H.
Macy?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I like it.
We'll have to look into that.
This show is freaking hilarious. It's fantastic. You have 11 seasons. 11 seasons that you can get
We're
through.
Looking for some new...
Yeah, we
new
Shameless. Shameless is probably one of the best shows I've seen in a long time, only because it encompasses so much stuff, but they touched base on the whole politically correct type stuff and the gentrification and things when they came and they're trying to take over the millennials and all this stuff, and it's just really interesting how fast it happened. All of a sudden now everybody, I identify as this, I identify as that. Well, I identify as being a complete fucking bitch most days, but I don't get to...
Me too. Hashtag me too, Jessica.
You know what I mean? So that just doesn't give you
I acknowledge it.
justification.
Gary
I definitely
acknowledges it
acknowledge
as
you
well.
identifying
I'm
as
sure
that. I'm
Kevin
cool with
does
that.
also.
But you know what?
No, but I just find that to be like an excuse almost. Like you don't get to just be a shitty person because you
well,
say.
it is an excuse. It is an excuse.
Well, it is, but
in
that's
so many ways.
crazy.
But I first of all, I do want to wish you and Jennifer a happy Mother's Day.
Thank you.
And I do have to say that although I will not come out of the gates freaking swinging as my colleague did, there is something, and you just can't like back off and be like, "Well, it's my Father's Day." I mean, what Kevin said is very true, because every Father's Day that rolls around, there's always people out there taking swings about here's the single mothers that are doing it every day, and Father's Day and mothers and fathers, and you just see this.
Well, it happens on Mother's Day too, a little bit.
A little bit.
No, very
Not
little.
a little bit. I have seen it. I have seen it. And I have some guy friends that are single parents.
It's
that
not
are
comparable
doing it
though.
all.
Is the point? It's not comparable. It's not as high as a number, and it's not something that is completely and utterly like trumpeted from the freaking.
So why don't they just say Happy All Parent Day?
Because
it's a Hallmark
because
holiday.
you have to elevate while you freaking desecrate. But you know, the point is that we just can't even just have something as simple as saying Happy Mother's Day and Happy Father's Day without everybody wanting to throw their little 2 cents in of, well, you're the single mother doing it, blah, 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 and you're the single father doing it. Well, you know what? I really don't. I'm birthing baby people and blah. Just fucking, the world has forgotten the KISS method. Keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah.
Because they want to overcomplicate things because everybody thinks that their fucking opinion matters.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
And it doesn't. That's the reality of life that people don't want to accept, that when you enter the real world and you get kicked in the teeth, your opinion's not always going to matter. You're not always going to get your own way. You're not always going to be heard. You're not always going to. And I'm not talking about some of the serious
majority
issues.
Of the time.
That's life in general for everybody. I don't care what race, color, creed, religion, freaking sex. I don't care. Yes, there are disparities in certain areas, women, minorities. I get that, and I'm not downplaying that. But in general, we're trying to create this ridiculous, impossible dream of that if I feel like freaking identifying as a lizard, everyone should understand and respect that and be okay with it and not make fun of me. You know, it's like
I know what you mean though. It's kind of ridiculous, but I think it comes down to like Graham and I have had this conversation because he's 22 years old, just kind of trying to figure out where his mentality was at certain points as he was kind of maturing. He even said there's never going to be a utopia, that's not realistic.
Joke.
And that's kind of like a millennial progressive way of thinking, which there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with somebody wanting better or trying to, help the planet and do all those things. Like there's nothing wrong with that, but there has to be, they have to understand that you can't control every scenario. You can't control all people. You can't control all circumstances, and so I like the fact that Graham was very, well versed in like understanding, even though it sounds all great and dandy, like how is this going to happen? Who's doing all of this? How is this getting done? And who's paying for all of this? Where does, there's an effect, a cause and effect for everything. And so I always thought that was really mature and good of him to have thought that through. Like he didn't buy into that because there has to be rules. There has to be regulations. There has to be certain things that people do. And a utopia is all fine and dandy, but that's not realistic. I'm saying, but it's not realistic.
It's not only realistic. It literally, when you have a utopia, it means that you remove all individuality.
Yep.
Right. Well,
you remove free will. You remove decision making. Right. You remove.
But isn't that kind of the progressive way?
Of course it is, because they want you to be their way.
Right. So someone is still calling the shots. Someone is still making the decisions.
Someone is the puppet master with it.
Right. And if you relinquish like those things, so here on the flip side, though, so you have all these people saying, I identify, I do this. Are they not fighting that utopia in that progressive way by doing that? That's like extremists then on that end, because then to say that they want this, but yet they're saying, this is who I am, look at my multicolored hair. And I'm just asking, like, though, isn't that the opposite of what millennials are supposed to stand for?
What, of control? Well, the problem is that they don't realize that, because I think when you get into this, when you get into some of these folks who have, and it doesn't matter which side of the fence you're on, when you have people on this, like that mode you're talking about,
right?
They don't look at it as they are actually becoming the freaking fascist, monster that they're trying to, that they're actually becoming that what they're trying to fight against, because they really do believe, like, my way is so right that once you realize that everybody's going to be freaking peace, love, and freaking harmony, and if you don't agree with me, then I'm going to freaking smash your fucking head in. It's kind of like that mentality. It almost seems like. But you gotta watch. What you gotta do is watch Judge Dredd, the old one. Isn't that Judge Dredd?
Yeah.
Where freaking
with
what was
Sylvester Stallone in
the
it.
No, Demolition Man.
Demolition Man. That's the one.
Yeah.
Where Taco Bell and Dorito or something like that were taking over.
Taco Bell's the only restaurant.
Yeah, the only restaurant.
And Demolition Man. Yeah, it won the restaurant wars, but a lot of those groups, they're never happy. They're always, okay, so we're gonna give you this. Okay, then they want more. Okay, now I want this. Now I want you to call me this, and I want to get rid of all pronouns. Amber went to some function or something. She had to sign in, get their name badge, and the girl, it's like, well, what pronoun would you like on your name badge? And Amber goes, I'm a woman. She's like, well, what pronoun would you like? I don't want a pronoun on it. I want my name.
There's people that have that on LinkedIn. They'll say,
that's crazy.
It would read Carrie, horny, him, he.
I haven't seen that, or I haven't paid attention.
In parentheses, it'll actually have the pronouns that you go by in your profile on LinkedIn. Some people have done that.
So this way, if I'm talking to you, I'm not insulting you by calling you whatever.
Yeah, I mean, basically, I think it's if you're communicating with someone, and during that communication, if you're not using their name, you're using a pronoun, they're letting you know what pronouns that they like.
But you're not saying it maliciously. Like,
listen, intent has nothing to do with it at that point in time.
Yep.
I don't know. I have an employee that just actually put in her notice because she's moving to California. She was my seasonal college student that would come and work in the summers and on weekends. She identifies as she, her, and they.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just was like, "Hey, JoJo, can you get on the register?" But I'm just saying, like, it didn't bother me because I don't really care. Like, none of that stuff. I don't put any like major.
People lose their mind over it, though, Jess. People lose their mind over pronouns. Like, I don't lose their minds.
I just call them appropriate. Like, if I am unsure, I just stick away from saying anything I know that might cause like an issue. So I just call them by their name. We wear name badges for a reason.
We were just talking about this earlier this evening, and it was cis, CIS, instead of like straight, and the people that bothers that the most are people like I've had people say, oh, well, you're just a cis male, or you're cis, and I'm like, why is there, I mean, I don't care that I'm straight. I don't put that like
why
I'm
does it need to be?
I mean, but they feel the need to call me that, and I'm like, well, why do you feel the need to put me into this group? It's like, I don't say, go out and just saying, well, I'm Kevin, a straight white male. It's like, I just say I'm Kevin. Why do you say, why do you refer to me and to your friends as, oh, that's Kevin, he's cis, I don't understand that. They're like, why don't you just say, that's
I guess
Kevin.
There must be some kind of like group etiquette that they have that in that type of community that they have formed to feel the need to do that. Personally, I just let things go a lot easier, but I can see how it's very confusing. It's hard to not offend someone when your intention is definitely not to. Like, the last thing I want to do is call somebody something that hurts their feelings. Like,
Yeah.
if it genuinely bothers
Agreed.
them, you know
And
what I mean?
They should also say, like, if you say something that they may not.
Right. And there's 9 out of 10 times any experience I've had, there are people who do say, hey, look, like, that's not what I want to be called, or that, can you, address me this way, and I just do it because it's like, whatever, it's fine. But if somebody was to come to me and try to push me into being something that I'm not, or I don't want to be like told that that's what I am, because I don't do that to other people, then that's when I would have an issue. But nobody's ever done that to me.
Yeah.
But it's happened to you. I mean, you're saying it's happened to you.
It's definitely happened. I deal with, like Kerr, same, we're in these broad, and in the cigar community, it's really not too much of an issue.
No.
We come across it very, very rarely. To where, someone will push it.
I know. I'm all for human kindness.
Yeah.
I just treat people the way I want to be treated, and I, don't think there should be anything wrong with that.
Exactly.
Yeah. If you don't, if you don't like during the holidays, like I said, if I tell you Merry Christmas, don't yell at me. Don't yell at me. Just and Happy Holiday. I'm not a Christian. Well, can't you just say thank you, because I was just pointing out that have a wonderful day.
I guess I don't know.
It's how it's received, though, as I think, because I mean, I think and this is my opinion, but I think most of the time, things that are said are just said out of, if you were to offend someone, there was no intention, right?
Yeah.
Whether you say, God bless you instead of bless you, or you say Merry
Oh,
Christmas.
I get that every day.
Or if you get Merry Christmas, or if you get a, what is she doing? Well, she doesn't identify, or Z doesn't identify as that, or, whatever. But at the end of the day, it takes a very simple, calm, and respectful correction.
Exactly.
That will allow you to move forward. Or, like you said, Kevin, it's like, if I say Merry Christmas to you and you don't freaking believe in Jesus Christ and the birth and the raising, if you got to sit there, if you're going to lecture me on that, I'll just be like, listen, man, sorry, then fuck you. I hope you get then go to the movies on the 25th. Just,
do you know how many times
I'm wishing you well.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I get told God bless you all the time, especially at work. Every single time I say thank you.
Yeah, same here.
Thank you. Have a great day. I appreciate it. Why would I ever be rude to somebody for what they believe in?
But do you believe in God? Do you believe in God?
Do I?
Yeah.
That's a personal question.
We've talked about it on another show, so we can talk about it.
But
I'm a spiritual person. Do I believe in God? Do I believe in Jesus? Do I believe in Jesus Christ? No, I do not.
All right. Well, but the point is if someone says God bless you, to your point, even though you don't believe in God or Jesus or whatever the case may be, it's still an offering or a sign of someone being genuinely like thoughtful.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
They
and
said that to me because they genuinely
feel manners.
That's the problem with
simple.
people, is that they cannot understand that although we are all different, we can't sit there and like say, hey, listen, happy holidays, happy Kwanzaa, happy, Passover, happy this.
Right.
I mean, at the end of the day, people are just going to offer you goodwill and good tidings, and if it's within their own little group and not your gig, it's still good offering though.
Right. Yeah. And this is how I've been around so many diverse different people my whole life. But especially like during certain times, and being in retail, there's a line that I have to, follow, and say certain things. But I genuinely believe like even though I'm not a religious person, that it's okay, because I've seen if people have to that believe in certain things for whatever reason, if it's hope or strength or, stuff to get them through things, like, who am I to ever tell anyone that what they believe in is wrong? Because what you believe in and what I believe in is still right. It's how I look at it. At the end of the day, what you believe in or what I believe in is still correct for myself.
Correct.
So that's that's why I never ever treat people like they're not allowed to say anything to me. Like, why does that bother so many people?
Because they're idiots.
I have a
So
very.
how was your day? I'm sorry, go
I was
ahead.
going to add on that, but I'm sorry.
Okay.
But I
Yeah.
know
Go ahead,
we're-
go ahead.
we're-
No, go ahead.
Dang it. I almost forgot now for a second, I think. The one kind of rule that I always have, because, you know, there's a lot of people that literally, if you didn't believe in Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, they wouldn't bother.
Yes.
They would not like associate with you.
I know
Yeah.
I know
Right.
that for 100% fact. I was married to
and-
somebody that was very much like that,
And
so I'm well aware.
And what's funny is that if you do read the Bible and you see what Jesus did, he literally went and freaking interacted with people who were non-religious or non-faith. I mean, he would go to these areas. And in my personal opinion, I think the most unchristian-like thing you can do is to judge someone and cast them aside because they don't believe in Jesus Christ.
Yep.
And
I
if you're a
100%
true
agree.
Christian, then you would not do that. In my opinion, like there's other Christians that would sit there and probably go like a rapid fire AK-47 shooting freaking Bible verses at me.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I'm like, well, you know what? I hear what you're saying, but you know, Jesus didn't believe that one there. He kind of
Right.
hung out with some really not cool and not very good people. He hung out with tax collectors. He hung out with whores. He
He
this.
didn't go to church.
And-
He didn't.
and-
That's not where he went and preached.
You know, and when he did preach and he did travel, he went into some of the worst areas. So, in my opinion, that whether you agree with me or not, you believe in that or not, it's the most unchristian-like thing you
You know,
can
and I
do.
grew up Southern Baptist. You know, we went to church like sometimes 3 times a week.
Right.
You know, so it's not that I don't, you know, have any kind of idea of what Christianity or religion is like. Is when I became an adult and I was able to form my own decisions and my own thoughts and, you know, go through my own trials of stuff, I decided what was right for myself and how I wanted to be as a person spiritually. And do I believe that there's something bigger than myself out there? Yes. Do I necessarily believe that
Yeah,
it's
he's sitting
Jesus
next
Christ?
to you.
No. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
I'm
But
teasing.
but I have been through some stuff and seen some stuff, and who knows? I feel like you're always evolving. You're always growing as a person. And for me to be ignorant to say, oh, nothing like this could ever be possible, it would be
You
ignorant.
may change your mind tomorrow, and that's the thing is anything can freaking
That's the
happen.
beaut-
but
that's the
waxing
beautiful
and waning
thing.
of faith, right? And
Right.
religion and
Right.
all points in between.
And I just said that to Kevin the other day. I said the most beautiful thing is having a choice and being able to feel and believe and do things for you, what's in the right, you know, mindset for you or the best interest for you.
Right.
That's not for anyone
Bless
else
you.
to dictate those
God
terms.
bless you.
But there's
God
no,
bless you and your allergies that God created to freaking torture you.
Where is your God now?
Yeah, I'm blessing you. I'm blessing you with the same God that tortures you with your.
It's not for anyone else to give you the terms that you're supposed to live by. You're just as human as I am.
Well,
And they don't have the right to give me any kind of terms of how I should live.
Jess, I grew up in a very strict Catholic household.
Oh, did you?
Yes. Yeah.
Have
I
you
mean,
never heard him talk about Catholic school?
Oh,
Catholic school,
Anybody
Catholic.
who says they're Catholic has grown up in a Catholic, strict
Yeah.
Catholic household.
Well, not all. We
Not
don't.
all, but
There's
when you
we were
get to Catholic
we were
school-
varsity Catholic, right? We were the JV team, and my dad, I love my dad, and he has a deep seated faith, and I've learned a lot from him, and I respect and love, and we disagree on some things, but overall, a great guy. But one of the things that I've always kind of picked out as a few things when it comes to Catholicism is that when our grade school closed, we moved to the other grade school. And my grade school I went to was kind of like the north side of town on the other side of the tracks. We were the Slovaks, the Italians, the Polacks, and then we're going to the South freaking Catholic, grade school, which was the South side, the rich, and they treated us like shit. And I'm like, yeah, those whole Christianity, love one another, we're Catholics here. you're kind of missing the point there, right? We have 10 commandments, right? We're supposed to follow those 10 commandments. Really can't be like this staunch, gonna freaking put $1 in the freaking little, or a quarter in the little slot and start lighting candles for people and then feel really good about yourself because you went to an hour-long service and then you lit candles for people and then you go back and you freaking act like an ass, confession just doesn't get you to wipe the chalkboard clean. And those are some of the things that I grew up learning and seeing and witnessing. My buddy who grew up in a Baptist family used to say, you can guys womanize and they drink and cuss all week long, but as long as they're saying, "Hey man, I'm saved" on Sundays, and everything was cool again. So I've kind of looked at religion versus faith, religion versus spirituality, or even Christianity and the different versions, whether it's Catholicism, Methodist, Lutheran, Baptist, and then looked at true Christianity.
Yeah.
And I go, religion is filled with rules, and you got to do these rules, and you got to make these steps in order to get to heaven, to God. Where if you really do follow just what Christ taught, what I believe, it's completely different, and your reward is it's something that you received. It's not achieved. This isn't a it's not an awards freaking Marriott awards point where the nicer I do, the better.
Frequent flyer miles.
Exactly. I'm not going to get freaking platinum rating as a Catholic because I've orchestrated and I've freaking officiated bingo and went to church.
Don't say that too loud.
Right?
Yeah.
It's because I'm like, hey, yeah, there's 10 commandments. Well, you broke, yeah, but those top ones are but no, they're all there's 10 of them, right? So it's just that belief of
No, and I think having
more.
faith in spirituality and Christianity and all that, it's a beautiful thing for a lot of people. I think it's when people start pushing their own personal ideals on others is where it gets skewed.
Pushing and judgment. Pushing and judgment. When you start pushing shit on people and judging.
So last week on our show, I had Brad Reith, and I love talking religion with Brad. And then he made it a point, he's like, religion is different from faith.
Yeah.
Religion is different from the church. Those are, religion, church, and faith can be three completely different things. So
Jesus taught the church was the people, like you inside you. That's the church. Yeah. Where the church is like,
I just
where the church is like, yo, man.
But
whereas you know what they used to do to us in Catholic in grade school? I shit you not. When I was in grade school, they used to give boxes of envelopes, right? And you had to put money in these envelopes and give them in the offerings on Sunday.
We got weekly offerings to do too,
right?
Sunday school.
But they gave you a box with your fucking name on it.
Yeah, we had them.
Yeah.
Too.
Oh yeah, we
you know
had
what?
That too.
On Monday, the nuns would come in and freaking go, "Oh, well, we didn't see anything from the Horny family this week." You're like, they would call you out.
Yeah, but most churches that you join, Catholic or Baptist or Presbyterian or whatever, they take so much of your wages.
They called you out in your class with your classmates.
Look at the
judging
cheapskates over here.
Well,
They gave us a penny.
so I occasionally go to church with my parents. I haven't in a while, but yeah. So they give like electronically. So a lot of people do. So, but they still fill out an envelope each week with their name on it, and they put an empty envelope because heaven forbid that anybody else sees, ooh, look, Mike and Janet didn't put anything in the basket,
Right.
not knowing that they give electronically.
Right.
So it's like, so now I got to put this envelope in just to show, look at here.
Yeah.
Yeah, before electronics in the 70s, the nuns would call you out in class, the family. I could be home and going, Dad, dude, I just got freaking called out by Sister Ladwina. What the hell? What's up? Well, I don't understand. We gave. I'm going to go down and talk to Father Ray. I was like, then it became this big to do because we didn't give freaking $2, on Sunday.
I will say this though, also about churches and stuff. Like, I have actually been to quite a few really great churches. Some of the fellowship that you receive there, and some of the stuff that happens.
Of the Rings.
But I do, for me, when I was going through some hard times with Wyatt, he was about to have heart surgery and all this stuff. Pastor Mike, who married me and my ex-husband, he stayed in touch with me when things kind of got real rocky with my husband and I, and he offered me a job to clean the church on Saturdays, every Saturday, to help me make some extra money when I was struggling. And even though I wasn't going to that church and doing any of that stuff, they helped pay for a hotel room for me. When I went down for one of Wyatt's heart surgeries, they helped me with other things and stuff, like financially when I needed it. Yeah,
because they're walking the walk when it comes to what it is to be
and
a
still
Christian.
To this day, I have a great relationship with Pastor Mike. He just treated me like a good person would and stuff. But I mean, I hands down know that there's good people in churches and stuff, but I will also say there is not some nice people in churches.
Well, of course, it's like that with anything.
Some of the
churches aren't exempt from that.
Right, and so some of the experience that I've had in church settings have not always been the greatest. But I do realize, the faith aspect. I've watched a lot of families struggle in other areas, and sometimes if that's what gets you through the day, who am I to tell anyone that they shouldn't believe that or they shouldn't feel that way? But I just also want to say, Kevin and I might not believe in Jesus Christ, but we don't believe in the devil.
Yeah.
So that doesn't make us devil worshippers. I think people think if you don't believe in God, you must believe in the devil. I don't believe in heaven or hell. Yeah. Me personally. So therefore I can't believe in the devil. So we're not devil worshippers.
And we believe
so
in
I don't know what that means.
We try and believe in most of the commandments,
No, I believe in.
Which one don't you believe in?
No, I believe in
probably the first three, because the first three of the commandments are for God.
Yeah.
Okay,
thou shalt not worship false idols. So I mean that doesn't make sense that that I would believe in.
Right, yeah, but when you're talking about the ones that really intersect with societal, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not bear false witnesses against your neighbor, thou shalt not steal. I've always said, what, if you follow the 10 Commandments and you believe, what the one, back in the Bible, I'm sure Brad would probably be able to give you the exact footnote of this, but the Sadducees and the Pharisees, the Jewish faith, would always try and trip up Jesus because they did not like him. He was the true outlaw in their opinion back in those days.
Yeah, he was a rebel.
He was. I mean, seriously. And they would send people to try and trip him up so they could freaking get him on blasphemy or whatever, and then and they sent somebody and they were like, hey, which of the laws is the most important or the best? And in Jewish law there's hundreds of them, so if you pick any one, you're kind of like it's like one of those being surrounded by landmines, right? You pick one, you're screwed. And he basically said, love the Lord with all your heart and all your mind and all your soul, and love one another as you would love yourself. And by saying that, he covered all hundreds of the rules, and they just freaked out because he was that quick. And I figured if you follow those simple rules, the 10 Commandments, and you treat each other the way you want to be treated, you're covered.
That's it. So how was your day,
people.
Jess? How was your Mother's Day?
We're done with that topic. On to Mother's Day. It was great. I watched some episodes of Shameless.
Decisively put the wall right in front of me on that.
Because this would be an episode on religion.
Yeah. So I mean, just going back for 1 second, 1 second to everybody watching. Nobody has to answer this. No, nobody has. But I'm just going to throw it out from the great Homer Simpson. Could God microwave a burrito so hot that he himself could not eat it? That is think about that. So we'll move on.
No, I'm never going to think about that. I don't care.
That's the eternal question.
The problem is if you microwave it too long, it just becomes hard as a brick.
Yeah.
And actually, Kevin, since we're on a Simpsons kick,
And we're talking about food.
And we're talking about food. When Homer Simpson sold his soul to the devil, did you ever see that one? When they actually had when Marge was fighting for his soul because he had given it to her when they got married, they actually had the lawyers and then the devil, and then they actually had the jury, and part of the jury was the 1976 Broad Street Bullies from the Flyers.
Nice.
I didn't know that.
That's great.
Oh my
that's
god.
actually
We'll have to
funny.
watch that then. That's funny.
Oh my
How do you
god.
not know that? You've seen, like, you know every.
No, I didn't. Well, see, before I didn't know hockey, until
And then Ned was the devil. And he's like, "Oh, Homer, you're gonna go to hell." And Bart walks by and goes, "Oh, hey, Bart." He goes, "Hey, how you doing, devil?" You know?
That's funny.
But yeah, it was the Broad Street Bullies were part of the.
Nice.
Oh my god.
That's actually
That's
pretty
great.
funny.
Yeah.
So how's
Now
your
we
day,
need
Jess?
us as Simpsons.
Yeah.
So yes, Jessica. So what did you do today?
Oh, I said I watched some of my episodes of Shameless.
How many?
2.
Oh,
Just
That's
2.
it.
Yeah, I was trying to watch a third, and then he's like,
How long are they?
TV standard time. I fast forward through.
Is
Was
it
it-
some
is-
boring
that
part.
Are they hour episodes?
Yeah, they're an hour. It's an
Yeah.
hour.
Yeah,
It's an hour.
theater TV time.
TV time.
How the
Yeah.
fuck
I don't
was
know.
that
We
answer?
I don't
record
know.
everything.
That was really
we
horrible.
record everything, so half the time I wouldn't even be able to tell you because
Oh,
we.
because I thought you said it was on Netflix, so I know they don't do commercials.
Yeah, no, it's on
Yeah.
Netflix, but this one, the last season,
Okay.
is on Showtime. It hasn't made it to, so I had to purchase Showtime for
Got
this month
Got you.
just to watch season 11.
Did you
and then
do
I'll-
like a
My
week
apologies.
free where
Yeah.
you're gonna cancel it? So
Yeah.
you try to binge
Yep.
watch your show
Oh,
in
yeah,
that
I'll
trial
binge
period,
it.
and then I go and cancel it.
That's what's happening right now.
That's why we don't have
we walk
CBS
that
All Access
tightrope
right
all
now.
the time.
We
Yeah.
watched what we needed to. Gone.
Oh yeah, I do
wanna-
it all the time. I used to do it with Hulu. I used to do like the free trial, watch like a show, and then like delete it and do it again like months later when I was watching something. But yeah, I cooked breakfast for the kids and stuff. While Wyatt had goldfish since we didn't have any milk this morning because I thought we had milk but we didn't, so you couldn't have cereal. And then we hung out outside, me and Wyatt, for a little bit and did some stuff, and then. I really didn't do much. Just kind of vegged out.
Those are great days of just
Yeah.
relaxing.
That's a good Mother's Day,
Yeah.
right? Just
Yeah.
vegging.
Yeah, it was. It was a nice Mother's Day. What did you do?
It was busy, which was my own choice. Earlier this week, I'm thinking it's going to be a beautiful day. I'll look at places I would love to go out for a good brunch. Downtown Greenville is just so beautiful now. We can go out, walk around, spend some time, and then I realized it's college graduation week this week.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, is it?
And
Yeah,
art was
and Artisphere Festival.
Yes, this
And
big
so you
artist
have
event downtown.
all the college graduations are at the Bon Secours Arena, which is right there in downtown by Main Street. You have Artisphere, which is a huge festival right there in Main Street. And I'm like, screw that. I know any brunch that I would find, I'll hate having so many people around me because I don't like crowds. I can make my own brunch 10,000 times better. So I invited
and have less people.
Yeah.
and enjoy the food that I make. So we had our usual family crew over, and I did a waffle brunch, which it was freaking good. Williams Sonoma waffle mix is
Best.
hands down
Oh,
the
yeah.
best waffle
Yeah.
mix
Yeah,
ever.
it's
I know
really
my
good.
sister used to tell me that she used to buy it all the time.
It's just
Your sister
so
worked there, yeah.
tasty.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
So
Wow,
we
it's
did
good.
waffles, chicken. Of course, you have to have chicken and waffles.
And we went shopping.
Eggs, bacon, sausage.
I will take credit for some
fruit,
of the stuff
M&Ms.
you got for Williams Sonoma.
We went to Williams Sonoma
Even though
yesterday.
you say I didn't. That's not
I
fair.
give you some credit.
no credit for
Yeah,
as a Mother's Day
Who's
gift.
the
Oh.
credit for the coffee?
Well, no.
yesterday?
it's the-
That
well,
was
this
We'll
something-
get to that. That's the delicious
Yeah,
coffee.
this
Is
is
how
just-
why we tasted it.
You know what? You're right. My Mother's Day gift was mulching. It wasn't.
It was
freaking-
the one
all
thing
the
I
other
wanted
shit that we
done
bought at Williams
was
Sonoma.
because
I
I
just
had been
witnessed
eyeing
it.
those gifts for quite a while and just didn't pull the trigger on it.
Yeah,
I've
until
been
I
looking
said,
at a
"Get
new
it."
espresso machine, and then I actually had my eye on a Breville coffee grinder, a bean grinder, and an espresso
And
machine.
I sent you the thing saying, "Look." And this is some days when I'm like really like in this loving mood. I realize I do stupid shit. Like
This
sending
all
her.
this is all because of Kerr a couple weeks ago saying, "Hey, look at this coffee grinder."
No, it was not me saying that.
Oh no, the tea kettle.
Yeah, let me
The
tell my
electric
story.
kettle.
It's
Oh, can I just say that?
no, please,
Kevin-
please interrupt too,
Ke-
Jess.
Yes, I'll interrupt you. Kevin just said Happy Mother's Day. That's it.
You just got 7 days of goddamn gifts 2
That's
weeks
all
ago.
I got was Happy Mother's Day.
Oh yeah, that's it.
I got
yeah.
flowers, roses from one of my employees
Yeah.
from Goodwill.
Yeah.
And cards from the kids because my
So-
mom got them.
All right, so
Just putting that out there.
So
For
Kerr can continue.
Wow.
I know. I don't know what to
Friggin'
say. You
for
did
someone-
get Jess. You did get a shitload of gifts
Hey,
for
Jess.
a week
that was
long.
for my birthday.
Jess,
On
for
the
someone who
heels
doesn't believe in
of-
Jesus Christ, you certainly like to crawl on that cross every once in a while.
Listen, who doesn't want gifts?
I know. Well, we were at Williams Sonoma, and actually beforehand,
Yeah. So tell the.
I was like, I
mother
am
kettle.
telling. So
Oh, shit.
I'm like, fuck. I swear to God. Goose. My voice is like this.
I
and
can't
it's
even breathe right now.
partially allergies, and partially I think just I'm trying to be heard. I sent her this message, and I'm like, "You're plastic. Don't whisper. We can see you and hear you." You're like my grandmother
shorts
at
and we're
bingo.
sitting on our seats, and I am sweating, and I made him feel my sweat.
It would be
It's
like-
hot as
like-
hell in
Then say it
the
out.
studio where we are right now.
Yeah,
we have no
here.
AC.
Oh,
I'm dying.
It'd be like you guys talking to me going, they
And he
can't
like
see or
gets
hear
grossed out
me.
because I made him touch the sweat on the seat, and he was like,
So all right.
All right, so what-
so you're at Williams and
he's
Sonoma.
I think he's talking to
we're
you.
talking about Kerry
This
sent
is
me a
before,
text
so I sent her a text
a
message.
couple
I'm
weeks
like,
ago.
thank you for the setup 4 times. I said, that we make French press, and we do it by using a electric teapot. Boil the water and put it in. Right, just the one on the stove is just ridiculous. Right. So we have a black one, and I got it like Walmart for like $5.
Yeah, like
and
a
it's
Dollar General special type thing.
Walmart.
Walmart special.
Thank you. My story is Walmart.
coupon,
With a coupon,
$2.
$2 off. So she's like rearranging her whole kitchen. I sent her a message. I'm like, this doesn't match anything, Jen. You know, and we use it a lot. And I sent her a picture of like this bright yellow freaking teapot, electric one, just like, it's like $200. I'm like, hey, this looks really nice, but I'm not paying $200 for
boil
something
water.
to boil my water.
So
That is where I was horrifically wrong, because
Now-
apparently I did pay $200. So now,
well, no,
what
it's not
happens-
just that though. I'm sorry.
But
go ahead.
then, you know, we're talking and we need a new grinder, all shit. So
Our grinder's on the fritz.
we go to Williams Sonoma, and she's talking about all this stuff.
Our
and then,
espresso machine is like 7 years old.
but still works perfectly.
It's okay.
And then I get this sheet. I'm looking at it. I'm like, wow, it's a beautiful freaking water boiler for $200. Like, what the fuck, Jen? So, bottom line is, you can pick up stores from here, because honestly, it'll
So
be too much to watch
I
your lips
actually
freaking wind up. And
I
want
had
to
already
shout at everybody.
ordered a Breville new coffee grinder. It was on sale. It's a great price. Really, it was flat black. I'm like, I know we don't have a lot of black in our kitchen, but it was just such a great coffee grinder. And I had been eyeing a new Breville espresso machine to match it, which was also the flat black. So, but the price was quite a tough pill to swallow. And even though I think
was high.
it was a little tough. But I kept going back and forth, and wasn't sure. But I ordered the coffee grinder. So now in the back of my mind, the colored water kettle is in my mind. Even though I didn't want yellow, we have some other colors incorporated because we're doing that mid-century modern kind of downstairs. And there is the Smeg line in Williams Sonoma, which is a
Not
retro.
to be mistaken with Schmegma.
Correct.
This is
SMEG. It's
Horrible name.
It is a horrible
told
name.
her.
The
She's
design's
like,
great.
We're
It's a
sitting there in
50 I'll
Williams
just keep
Sonoma,
talking. It's
and
a
she's
50s
like,
retro.
I got this Smeg, and I'm like, I just fucking think, every time you say that, I think of Schmegma, every time.
So-
Who is on that team naming that?
Who who makes
probably
it.
a bunch.
No,
of,
no, no. Who was on that
Oh,
fucking
gee.
team?
Oh, I don't
Who
know.
cares?
I don't. It doesn't matter.
I'm like,
but anyway,
nobody's gonna know that.
it's a 50s retro style appliance line. You have to go. It's
Ooh.
really beautiful.
That's okay.
colors.
SMEG.
SMEG. So they have the
MA.
three things I was looking at was the water kettle, the electric water kettle, which they had two of them. One, you can actually control the temperature of the water. We don't need it. I just need the water to be freaking hot for a French press. So I went with the lower model, which was a little bit better price. But then we needed the matching color of the bean grinder. And then the espresso
course.
machine. Now, I had already, again, had the other bean grinder ordered. I told the associate who ended up being the
When
manager,
did you
which
get
was super
so
awesome.
bougie? As I want to know that.
It's not bougie because it's all going to be used.
love you, but man.
That's what our niece calls me.
I
is
woke
very
up one
bougie with
morning
some
and I'm
things.
like, what the
I
fuck
like the
happened,
finer
Jen?
things in life with
thought you
some
were
things.
Jersey
I
Coffee
would
is one of them.
say-
You guys
I was
spend a
gonna
lot of money
say,
on cigars. I like to
coffee
spend
is
money
your
on
thing.
coffee.
And
Thank
that's
you,
where
Jessica.
I don't. That's where I joke around with
So-
her, but I don't push back at all because I'm like, you know what? I spend a lot on cigars. We
Yeah.
do this. So
There are very few
and she's
things I like to
happy
spend money on.
when we do the coffee in the
Shoes
kitchen
that I
thing.
never wear, purses that I alternate, clothing that I wish I could fit in. I could if I go back on a
I have
diet.
a problem with Converse shoes.
Yeah,
But you
we
see,
do
have
have
Jess,
so
see what
many.
you just
Yeah.
said was like shoes I never wear, bags that you rotate, and clothing that you think you've. And I'm like, okay, the shoe part. I'm like,
the coffee-
When I'm looking at the cost of them, we're having them at the yard sale. I'm like, hey, Jen,
Well-
go invest your money back into the coffee
Yeah.
thing because I will never
So-
ever goof on you about that.
Yes.
But
The espresso machine for the Smeg line is very simple looking. And I'm like, I don't know if I would want that because the Breville one is a touch screen, really just all the bells and whistle, like freaking fantastic. Again, the price tag was just like, I don't know if I could really stomach this, even though I pay for it.
yeah,
But
the
then when
top
I
of the
watch
line,
top
you
of the
guys
line,
were
it
like-
is.
And I was like, hey man, this is really cool. How much is it? Oh, a used car?
Yeah,
Okay,
basically,
great. Just
more or
wanted to
less.
check.
Did you guys get a warranty?
It
No,
will
well-
be. So anyway, I did end up going with the Smeg espresso machine because it's a great, I looked at the reviews. I always review the products that I buy for the kitchen. It has great reviews. It will make an excellent espresso, and that's all I need. I really don't need that other stuff, and it all matches.
And the
Will you
one
buy
thing,
me espresso machine and make me espresso every morning?
No.
Okay.
well,
But if you want
So-
to buy your own machine, I don't care.
No.
I'll tell you-
'cause I
I'll-
won't make it.
Well, here's the deal. Okay, there's a couple things. One,
So that was yesterday. And while we were debating whether to cancel now the Smeg order, because now they were making me shots of espresso out of this Breville touchscreen one, which was just so fantastic. The coffee was so smooth and awesome. We actually drank it when we were in San Francisco. I can see him in my peripheral, and I'm just going to keep talking. The Illy Intenso espresso bean is excellent. I would be curious as a cold brew.
one.
Right.
What I was sorry about that. I held that. I held on to that interruption for a while there. When we do get like coffee pots, for the most part, I mean, I ripped on our got a couple things, and the espresso machines. I'm okay with investing a little bit more into it because we'll keep them for a long time.
And we use
Yeah.
them a lot.
The last espresso machine that we've had it for 7 years.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
It was a
That's actually
Christmas
pretty good.
gift he got me. I can remember
And
it.
it still works. It's still great, you know. But it's very basic, and I don't mind using it. But like today, like the thing with the steamer was like starting to shoot off when I'm like making
Scared the shit out of me in the kitchen. Milk went everywhere.
milk went everywhere. She jumps like I just freaking took a shot at her. But then I'm like, I'm trying to look at this high end touch screen where the high end one, which is like $2,300, it grinds the coffee.
That's actually not as bad as I thought it would
No,
be.
but here's what it does though. Here's where freaking you say, Kevin, you wouldn't even need to have the conversation with Kevin.
She would just have to push
You
a
literally,
button.
you press a button, it grinds the freaking coffee, it tamps the coffee. All you got to do is just take the arm, plug it in, press the button, and it makes it for you.
Done.
On the same machine.
On the
Yes.
same
Wow.
machine. The
Oh,
foam
okay.
wand is self
Wow.
cleaning. It's really
Everything.
pretty impressive. But
Everything.
That is
I'm sorry,
impressive.
$2,400 for espresso machine.
but then they
I'm
had
not
like
there
a step
yet.
down, And I actually pointed out to Jennifer, I'm like, well, you want a grinder and you want an espresso. This has both, and it actually is cheaper if you get one, and you get a touch screen. But then at the end of the day, we made I think the best decision with what we had. But the only appliance in our coffee line that we go through a lot of are the grinders.
Yeah, we burn them out.
Just because we grind a lot of coffee.
Yeah.
And we had this one grinder we have now that we like.
It's our
and
third
it's actually
one.
a pretty affordable grinder. It's like $79, and it does everything from fine to coarse.
There's probably like 20 or 30 settings.
And it's a burr grinder, which is the best grinder you can get, not a blade grinder.
No, I researched those.
Yeah.
Those were supposed to be really good.
This is the third one we've gone through. We've gone through in what, 6 years?
Yeah.
So do you burn the motors, or do you just use up the burrs?
It burns the motor, and the blade is like we have to feed the hopper. Like we use a chopstick and kind of push the beans
because
to get
it's
it to
like
go in.
everything, and I've cleaned them out really good. Like I've used the little air sprayer, air shooter. I mean, I've cleaned them out, and it'll start. And the length of time it takes, that stuff starts gumming up the system, all the oils and shit. So I don't mind spending, and I goof around with her, but I don't mind getting, something a little bit more expensive in the kitchen, because I know we use the kitchen a lot. It's not like we have this, $15,000 kitchen and we eat out all the time.
Like if I could have a drink kitchen, I would love it. Like
so
we just got new kitchen plates
a lot. And the espresso machines are utilized a lot. I enjoy making the espressos, so I love the touch screen was like so freaking cool.
I love espresso, but I just never liked making them. There was too many steps.
For $800,
I just love the whole matching
$800
idea though too. It really, and the style of it, that retro 50s look of their line.
It looks nice.
It's really neat. They have fridges. They had toast. Like they have everything.
But we have a 50 style microwave.
Yeah. But this one that was $800, a step down. It would grind the coffee for you, but then you had to tamp it yourself. And I'm like, oh, what you mean for an extra $1,000 it'll tamp it for me?
Right.
Like how fucking lazy am I if that's the case, right? But they had more drink options too that you can make, and I'm like,
it was pretty neat.
I mean,
but
Jennifer's
bottom line is I just want an espresso.
Jennifer goes, oh my gosh, it makes like 30 different drinks. And I go, I'm scrolling through them. I go, which drink do you like? She's like, the latte. I'm like, then the other 29 are useless, right? Like it's just useless at that point. But I don't mind buying, good high-end expensive stuff in the kitchen because we use it. We use it a lot. And we keep it for a very, very, very long time. We actually had issues with this espresso machine a few years ago where it was just not working well. We cleaned it up, and I went through and cleaned everything up very good, and just realized that, I was tamping the coffee grounds too hard, so the water couldn't get through.
Because if it's like a brick, the water can't penetrate.
And it can't penetrate.
Oh,
and come out. So and then we also needed to be cleaned really well too. So we keep this stuff a long time. So we got new furniture in the living room. The last time we bought furniture for our living room was 7 years ago.
Yeah.
So if I can get 7 to 10 years use out of furniture,
with kids,
that's not
animals
bad,
on it, it was in great shape. But we were ready for a change, and again, to add, you saw pictures of it. It really, I can't believe how much it changed the living room and just how brighter it is. Like I've always had furniture that was beige, brown, whatever, maybe a little pinstripe in it, but to actually have some color in there because it's the dark teal and a yellow accent chair, and it really, and to move that old travel trunk underneath the giant map on the wall, I love it. But
I found like some people will get furniture every couple of years, or they have to because maybe the stuff they got was not, is like cheaper, so it kind of freaking wears out. And Lord, I've been there, right? I've actually been there where I didn't have money's tight, and I'm like, I got to get XYZ because it's the only thing I can afford. And then, next year or two, I'm replacing it just because it was cheap, So.
Yeah, we're like that. We methodically change stuff out. The next thing we're gonna do is the kitchen table. Yeah, I've shown him a couple things that I like. I just there's just 4 of us, and really, we don't need a big table, and so.
But yeah, it's you're talking about like your coffee machine. I did an Instagram TV this morning while at work, like you do every Sunday. Talked about tools because the other day I posted up some pictures. I had to buy some new tools,
Yeah,
and it was $2,000 for 6 new tools, and people were like, oh, you should have got Milwaukee, or you should have got Makita, or even Harbor Freight. And I'm like, you know what? My last set that I traded in was $2,000, and it was 5-6 years ago.
Right.
So if you break, and these are tools that I do use, like your coffee machine, every single day. Now, like wrenches and stuff like that, I'll spend less money. Like I said, they're you don't use them that often. You can cheap out, but something that you use every day, just spend the money. Just spend the money and get it.
It's worth the investment.
It is, and it's tough that pill to swallow. At least on the Snap-on guy, I can pay him weekly. You can't, Williams and Sonoma, they kind of want their money right now.
Right. Well, when I bought the couch, I had long and hard, and maybe went a little overboard. It was a little bigger than I kind of like really planned out. But it looks beautiful. I love that couch.
And it's also if you take care of stuff too, because I've have friends and family members where it's like, oh yeah, I got to get a new this, I got to get a new that, and I'm like, yeah, I still have my frickin' circular saw that's about 12 years old, 10 years old. It's a Milwaukee. I still have my freaking what was it, the Hitachi freaking drill. I still have this. I still have that. Everything like 10, 12 years. You still have that? How?
Yeah.
I take care of it. After I freaking use it, I clean it. I put it back to where it belongs. I freaking, if you take care of stuff, it'll take care of you. The same thing with lawn equipment. Yeah. I mean, I actually grills too. I mean, I actually had a grill that was like 10 years old because, when shit went, south inside, I just gutted everything because the shell was still really nice.
Oh, yeah.
I gutted everything. I replaced all the innards. And then the side area that was, it wasn't like a heating plate. It was just like a resting area. Something had broken. I removed everything. I got my own wood. I outside freaking, waterproofed it, drilled holes in, freaking made my own wood side, and boom, it lasted me another 5 years. I mean, when money's tight and you take care of stuff, it'll last you a long time. My Ultima died. It was a 2006. It died 2 years ago with 320,000 miles on it. It was an 06.
I know it's weird because I was like that even when Graham was small, like even with all the kids, but mostly Graham. All his toys, like everything had like his Legos, all went back in the like Ziploc bag, original package. He has a trunk full of old toys that still are in original boxes.
That's Joe.
He played with them, but like he took such good care of his items. Like it's crazy how good condition those things are.
Yeah, and then you're talking on tools. People always complain about tools breaking. Either they bought cheap tools, or they're using a tool for its unintended for a purpose it wasn't. If you use a screwdriver as like we got guys at work as a prying tool,
right? It's
not going to work. You know what I have? I have prying tools.
Yeah.
And I have screwdrivers. I have a collection of hammers because everything isn't a hammer. That big wrench is just use it as a hammer.
Right.
Why don't you get a hammer? Use the hammer for the tool.
I don't know. Instead of getting a paint opening can tool, I just use one of Kevin's screwdrivers.
And which one did she grab? $100 Snap-on screwdriver. And she's like, well, I don't know where the paint tools are. And I go, well, if you'd have looked on my pegboard, about 2 inches to the right of that screwdriver is 6 paint can openers.
What? The screwdriver still opened the paint can for me.
It did, but a good screwdriver.
Did
good
Kevin
sharp
see
head.
like paint on the screwdriver? That's how
I don't know.
Yes, the handle.
Oh, was it on
the handle? Yes. And I'm like, what is going and then the problem was there was a line of screwdrivers.
Who cares?
So there was
I wasn't looking for that. I had to open the paint can.
There was like 5 cheap screwdrivers, and then you had the Snap-on. Like people don't people
Stanley,
out there.
Stanley, Snap
Yeah.
on begins with S. Who
Probably,
cares, right?
Because when you have a screw with a fine head into a component, you have to have a matching screwdriver. Like on Phillips, people don't know there's a number 1, number 2, number 3 Phillips, and number 4. You know, most things are number 2.
No,
you get a
nobody knows
nice
that.
sharp edge. You can take it out, but no, let's just strip it out by using anything.
Why I wasn't doing that. I just popped the paint can
Yeah.
lid, took 2 seconds, put that shit back on your hook.
with paint on the handle.
Clearly, you didn't clean it off first.
Yes.
I didn't care.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was busy. I was doing a project, so it was like I was
it a
trying to.
project for Kevin?
No, my friend Shani, I redid some furniture for her. I restored some furniture, and then I did a rocking chair for her, and I antiqued it and stuff for her. And so I had a can that I couldn't get like pried open, and I was like, grabbed the screwdriver, just went boop. And I already had like shit all over my hands. Did 0 fucks given. But he noticed.
Yeah.
I'm sure he did.
Yeah.
How long did it take for him to notice?
The same day.
Seconds. It's like,
Yeah.
like Kevin seriously has like this weird thing. Like even if the kids, like somebody like can creep in the kitchen, the TV's loud as shit. He's eating his like snack, and all of a sudden he's like, "Someone's in the kitchen." It's like he knows. You can't get away with anything.
Dads have spidey sense.
No, you can't get away with shit. He is no fun. He is like the ruiner of like fun and magic and all things.
How
like,
is sensing someone? I'm the same way though.
no, he
I
just.
freaking.
I don't
I
know.
sense a disturbance in the force. I
Yes,
know when
yeah, I
something's
know.
effed up.
Yeah. Probably because I don't care enough. Like certain things just don't bother me. Where it bothers the shit out of Kevin, and it bothers him that it doesn't bother me.
Well, if neither one of us cared, then we'd have anarchy.
oh no,
Yeah.
no.
Well, you know what's
Everybody's
funny here is
fine.
and when the kids were a little bit younger, I could hear them, right? Like you said in the kitchen, Jen's just like freaking like she's here
Or
shit
asleep.
or asleep,
Yeah, right.
and then I'll say something. She'll be like, so.
Yeah, right. So
Fast forward 6 months later when we're up in the room cleaning shit out, and she's like, where did all this candy wrappers come from? I'm
I
like,
found empty
all
soda
of-
bottles
and I look at her, I'm like, you know the trips to the kitchen you don't give a shit about? That's it.
underneath furniture.
I still don't give a shit, and he finds shit in Wyatt's room all the time, and I go, so what? You threw it away. Fine, it's done. That makes him even more crazy that I still don't give a
But
shit.
she'll lose her mind over finding this
care.
shit, and I'll be like,
Yeah.
hey, do you know all
Someone
those
clean it.
times when I say they're in the kitchen, you're like, okay, who cares? Well, all those wrappers are you not caring.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he could say that to me, but I still don't care. So that bothers him even more that I don't care. Like, Wyatt will have goldfish bags, like, and Kevin will be like, he had like 10 goldfish bags. I'm like, so what?
No.
Just
The
who
problem with
cares?
that is he'll have 12 or 14 bags that are all half full.
So what? Who cares?
Half full.
Who cares?
And then he just goes grab another fresh
so
bag.
what?
And
Who
then
cares?
he's got 14 half open bags.
Who cares? Why does it bother you?
Because it's wasteful.
No, it's not. You taking it, he's not doesn't have a chance to eat it.
Sounds like our Cheez-It freaking ish. Like,
I'll
go into the
I've
freaking
now gone
cabinet.
in. I'm sorry.
I'll go into the cabinet, and I'll be like, there's no room for anything. And then I'll go to grab like some peanuts, and then I'll get fucking attacked by a landslide of Cheez-It boxes. All of them half fucking full. The bag, hold on. The bag's inside, not completely closed.
Nope.
Stale, all effed up. And guess who doesn't eat Cheez-Its?
He hates them.
Me.
But
So-
I
I
found
don't eat
that they
goldfish.
now.
So I'm
I
like-
like the extra toasty ones.
So
They now come in individual packs.
So
So,
I'm
that
like-
has
I'm
made
like,
life easier.
Jen, what? I said, I just got free. What was that noise? I said, I got fucking attacked by your Cheez-It boxes because there's 5 of them in here. Every one of them's open. Some of them aren't completely sealed. So blah, blah, blah. And she's like, oh, yeah, well, and then she'll start explaining to me why. And I'm like, I don't need the explanation
doesn't
why. I just need it not to happen. Like,
Yeah.
So that's funny because I still don't care, and I'm never going to care about these goddamn goldfish, and I'm going to continue. He is now hiding goldfish bags in our closet. So Wyatt can't get them. And here I am. Wyatt comes to me, looks at me. I hand him a fucking bag.
So have I.
And
That's why I get
Kevin's
the
like,
individual packs now.
he's like, why? He's got a whole bunch that I threw in this container. I'm like, well, he doesn't want those. He wants his own bag. It drives him crazy.
And she doesn't care
I don't
either.
care.
But like, it drives me crazy. And then I like want to take all the Cheez-It boxes and just put them in like a freaking outside in a bonfire and burn all of them and teach them a lesson. And they just look at me and go, "Oh,
Joe
okay."
and I are the
They're kind of stale.
extra toasty
They get,
Cheez-It eaters.
you know what I get? Oh yeah, you can throw them away. They're kind of stale anyways. They're stale because you didn't close them. Yeah, I know. Sometimes I don't. I'm like, why am I the only one who cares about this in this conversation?
And why is nobody putting Cheez-Its or cereal in reclosable fucking bags? Why is
I
nobody
don't know.
fucking
That
doing
is-
I don't
that
know
is
why
a
they
little-
don't. The
But I
giant bags of
do.
goldfish are. They have the nice Ziploc seal on the top.
Well, we don't know because Wyatt only eats the saltines, and they don't make those in any special fancy packages. He doesn't eat the cheddar or anything. It's saltines. Can't get them in
We
individual
get the extra
packets
cheddar.
either.
Extra cheddar.
Yeah, he doesn't
goldfish.
eat cheddar at all.
I don't eat goldfish either.
But
Yeah.
But I buy cereal, and I buy the big family huge box. So what I can't fit in our little dispenser that we have for him, I put in a Ziploc bag. So
Yeah.
They should be in a Ziploc bag.
they should have a Ziploc. You're
I
right.
put everything in
They should.
Ziploc bags. I put spaghetti. I put mashed potatoes. It drives him crazy. Some dinners that we do, it's easily stored in our fridge. If it goes, Ziploc bags are awesome.
I feel
How
like
other
I'm like
You
looking
put
countries
spaghetti in a
cannot...
Ziploc bag and then
Yeah.
put it in
Dude,
the
it's like
fridge?
body
No,
parts.
Of course you
So
can,
big.
because then you just open it up, use your
can you?
tongs, and then grab it out of there. You could microwave it if you wanted to in it, but
In
I
the
still...
plastic?
Tongs is code for hand.
No, but I'm saying, yes, I put spaghetti in the large Ziploc bags because then you're not taking up a lot of space in our fridge.
that
We have
I
a side
get.
by side. We
It
lose
almost
space
looks
very
like
quickly.
it almost
He
looks
hates
like
it. It works.
When I walk in there, I just feel like I'm in like the hospital, and I just open the refrigerator where they just did an autopsy, and there's like a bag of intestines,
Yeah.
a bag like that has someone's heart
Bag of
in it,
meatballs.
bag of meatballs, and I'm just like
Basically,
plastic container
I just
people.
won't do sauces
I
because
just
I'm
like
afraid if it rips or something.
throwing
but
bags, and then
I just put hot dogs.
and then her
Ziploc
dad
bags.
does it, so now I see where it comes from. And then when something is wrapped,
It's
like
wrapped.
it looks like. Do you ever see that movie Red State?
No.
Right? It's like when they wrap that guy, the people up in the fridge. That's
Yeah.
literally like our food is wrapped.
Yes, it's rare.
Where I'm like-
preserved for quite a
I'm
while.
just like, Jen, like I'm trying to wrap this shit off, and it's like I'm going through this. I'm just like, everything else goes in an effing bag.
No, we're pretty.
And I
we're
do have
container
containers.
people.
Zip.
I do have containers.
Zip,
But
but
Ziploc
this is
bags are
wrapped.
just so easy.
It's wrapped
I
like
love 'em.
it's. I mean, I swear to God, they probably take less freaking care when they freaking.
You just
with
throw
the
them
Dead
out.
Sea
You don't
Scrolls.
have. You don't have to wash them. I don't reuse them.
I'm not talking. I'm talking about the wrapping though.
I know that does
You guys
drive me
literally
crazy, but
use like
some
a
things, the
5,000
Saran wrap does get a little crazy because I
So
just
why
want
don't you
everything.
just put it in a container?
Or a bag.
True,
Imagine
but
that, right? Everything else goes in a friggin' bag.
I don't know. Some things I will wrap in Saran wrap.
Yeah, a lot of saran wrap.
Yeah, we don't really do that often.
No.
Saran wrap. We are definitely container people. I do put some stuff in Ziploc bags, but not a whole lot. But
I
container.
have a
we're
problem
container.
throwing out a Ziploc bag. Like, oh,
I
Ziploc bag's
throw
a
it all.
good, that's a good bag.
What?
Yeah,
Why is it a good bag? I buy them all the time.
I know. It's like,
just
a good,
throw
it's like a
them
good
away.
bag. You put something in there,
God.
like, let's put something else in there.
Talk about being
I'm the
cheap.
same. No, I'm the same way because I think it might be a cigar thing because you get everything in like Ziploc bags and you keep your cigar bags. So when it comes
Okay,
to food,
well, they're not
I'm
cigar
like,
bags.
I know, but they're freaking they're just as valuable because they're storing food.
Yeah.
So if I put like something in a Ziploc bag and it didn't smell it up, grease it up,
You
or
can
fuck
go
it
to
up,
the
Yeah.
dollar store and buy 50 bags for $1.
why?
Yeah.
Why do that when I can reuse
Yeah.
my bag?
No,
Especially
just
if it's
throw
like
it away.
like a cracker or cooked something like a dry good, you can reuse.
No,
that.
I'm
Oh,
with
yeah, I
you,
reuse
Jed.
all the
Throw them
time.
away.
Yeah, you throw them away.
Buy
It's
'em,
plenty of them.
buy 'em,
and a
put
lot of
shit in
times
it,
I get a
throw it
buy
away.
one get one in the grocery store, but they seal so
Listen,
nicely.
you're the reason why this freaking climate change is
It
happening on
is.
this earth.
I admit it. I suck with keeping the planet clean, and I'm okay with it at this moment.
Zip, look, I'm like Kevin. If it held crackers in it, it can hold freaking something else.
Oh, I
can
do
hold
do
chips,
that. I
it can hold something
reuse
else.
the cereal. Like, why? If I buy cereal, I'll just reuse it for more cereal and stuff. Like, or any dry goods that go into Ziploc, I reuse. But anything that was in the fridge, that shit's getting thrown away.
And then the other thing I get into in the morning is when she feeds the cat. Like, cat food grosses me out.
It makes him gag.
And
literally, he will
Joe.
dry gag Joe too, but a lot
It's
makes him
like
gag.
but it's
Cat
like
food.
very little things make me freaking like gag, and cat food is just the smell of it, even the hearing of that.
Do you like tuna fish?
I do like tuna fish.
Oh,
It's not the same.
that's cat food to me.
Well,
Cat food is tuna
freaking,
fish.
you can live in your own little freaking private hell of tuna fish and cat food, but this literally for me, like,
Ugh.
and then she'll do all this in the morning, and then I'll go in and
Because the cat hates curry, so I have to feed and take care of
I have no reason to hate
of
me.
her, of little turdy
So
cat.
she'll feed half the can, and
no,
then
it's more like just a scoopy. She really doesn't eat much of
does it really fucking matter to the story?
No,
Okay.
it doesn't.
It doesn't.
Why don't you just buy the the cans? She only
Because she has to have a prescription
This has
cat
nothing
food
to
because the
do with
freaking
the
cat
story.
has to eat special food because she has urinary issues.
I don't care if you give her a spoonful or 3/4. The part of the story that is significant is that you put it back in the refrigerator.
Yeah, because I'm not going to waste
And
it, and I now have new lids for them, so it
Now-
seals
Oh,
it
we
nicely.
used to do that for the dog. When
Well,
we now we do packets. It's one and done.
But early on, you would just put it back in.
Yeah, either in a Ziploc bag,
But you
or I put
no,
foil
no,
over
no.
it.
A foil.
Hold on.
Oh,
No, I don't
you're
put it without
a
it.
foil over a can.
Yes.
Time out. Time out. It's my story, and this is the truth. You'd put foil
It's
over
not even
it,
just his
Correct.
story; it's his nightmare.
but the scent was still in the refrigerator.
I
The other-
never smell it.
The other thing you did, which if you say I'm wrong, I swear to God, you'll be a bully-less person. But we used to have these mini freaking Ziploc bags, right, for snacks,
Yeah.
and the bag the can wouldn't fit 100% in the bag, so you'd put it just in enough and zip the sides up.
Yes, he zipped the sides up to the point of the
Up
can.
to the point of the can.
It freaking sealed it.
Still fucking smell.
No, it.
So
it does
I'd
not.
I'd
It
open
smells
this
in the
up.
fridge. There's a lot of freaking food in our fridge.
I'd open this
it's
up.
not cat food smell.
I'd open this up.
Oh my god, this is so funny
And I'd
because this
see
is
this-
like Kevin and I.
I'd see this freaking can sticking out.
I
of this.
bought the wrong freaking bags. They're those horrible snack bags that are literally this big
It
and
lit-
like
it holds
rectangular.
nothing.
I don't know what you put in it.
I have no
3
idea.
Cheerios?
You No.
But
Like what the hell do you put in it?
You're supposed to put like
A dime
carrot
bag? No,
sticks.
no.
Yeah,
It
you're
holds
supposed
a
to put
dime
carrot
bag of
sticks.
weed is at
Yeah,
probably
that's
at most.
Most, yeah.
Right?
I know.
They're
I
tiny.
accidentally
They're
bought them
horrible.
too.
So
They
I
are.
basically open up the refrigerator, and there is the freaking ass end of a can exposed with the freaking Ziploc
Yeah.
up to the point with the smell.
It was horrible. And after that is when
And
I
I'm
actually
like-
bought the plastic lids that fit on either a dog
Yeah.
food can or a
How
cat
in
food.
the hell am I gonna freaking eat my Cheerios now that I got freaking punched in the face with this freaking cat food smell? And I'm looking at this half-ass wrap that literally looks like I just gave up. Like, listen, this is all I got. I'm just using it. I don't give a fuck.
Oh
But
my
yes,
God.
foil has been used in Ziploc bags. Now we have lid covers. For the
So
cat
I was like, you freaking saran wrap the shit out of bread. But cat food gets freaking 10 pounds of freaking shit into a 5-pound bag, right? Like it's half sticking out. And I'm like gagging because as soon as I smell, I'm like, ugh. Like Joe and I will vacate the room in a heartbeat just
ridiculous.
smelling cat food. But it just for some reason it just gets to me big time.
I can't. I don't know if I've ever smelled cat food.
Oh.
I've never had a.
I
I've never had a
really,
cat.
I don't know.
And-
I
and-
don't think it's that
I mean,
horrible.
I think cat food
It's
is.
chicken flavored. It's really
There's-
not like a seafood.
There's nothing fucking chicken about that fucking shit.
No.
Listen, there is some potent cat food out there.
And then
There is.
I have to feed the cat sometimes. She's like, I'm gonna be home late. I need you to feed the dog or the cat. So I'm like, all right.
And the
cool.
cat, I shouldn't even have him
Like-
feed the cat because she won't even go near him.
She won't go
then
near
Cooper
me.
runs over and eats the food
And
anyway.
then it's like just the
so-
freaking hearing that cat food, the moisture. And it's like, and I'm like, oh god, it's so.
Oh, that was gross.
It's just so. Ugh. So yeah,
Oh my gosh.
the useless Ziploc bag.
Yeah, it is a horrible
Just like
size.
Jen.
Is there anything that I do that drives you crazy? For the
It's too late
For
in
the
the show to
fridge.
start that conversation.
Pick one.
Wow.
Pick one, Kevin.
I just meant for the fridge, Kevin.
I thought you meant in general.
In
I'm
general,
like,
this would be.
woo!
Do you got 5 years? Do you have 5 years? Because that's how long my list
No.
is.
That's season
yes,
2.
No, Jessica. The things that makes me want to punch you in the face every day.
For the fridge?
About the fridge.
Really? There is something? Why didn't you say anything?
Jessica, I have Jessica.
Oh, have you? Okay, what?
Jessica will go to the store. You can't. This is my story. Like, Kerr, this is my
Okay,
story now.
I
Jessica
didn't
will
say
go to the
anything.
store, and Jessica
It didn't
like,
do me any good, Kevin. So just fucking go
so,
right ahead.
Like everybody has heard my rant. I want my goddamn milk in a bag every time. Stop fucking asking me about that.
I have
Jessica
an
will
issue
get-
as well.
Jessica will get her milk in a bag, or she'll get her orange juice in a bag, or she'll get her lemonade in a bag. She brings it in. She puts all the groceries away. Because we have a refrigerator out in the garage for all our overflow milk and juices. So she'll pick up the bag and then just put it in the fridge with the bag still on it.
What?
With the bag.
Oh my god,
Yeah,
that would
that's
drive
so
me.
Yes,
it-
crazy.
I'll open it up
It's
and there'll
extra drink.
and
It's
there'll be
not
there'll be
the
there'll be,
main
there'll be
drink.
four gallons of milk. Every one's still in the bag.
That's not true.
Yeah, you do.
I don't buy 4 gallons of
No,
milk.
or
Maybe lemonade.
Milk, lemonade, other juices still in the bag.
Yeah.
still
Now,
in the
what's
bag.
the
I
point
do
of
do
leaving
that.
the bag on them?
Laziness.
Oh yeah, it's because I have to go back outside into the hot ass garage. It's there, boom, it's done. Because I also know he'll take it off because it drives him crazy. So I don't give a shit.
Yeah, it's that bag, that bag of milk, that bag of
Okay,
milk.
that's the worst that I do in the
Oh,
outside
oh,
garage.
No, like in the fridge. Yeah, other than that,
Yeah.
there's no. other-
Okay, good. Look
Yeah.
at me. I'm winning. I am winning at life right now. If
Yeah.
that's the worst thing I
Yeah.
do.
Yeah, she didn't like taking things out like Wyatt will have his Jello. It comes like the little cardboard with like.
I
Take
do
a
take it
pack.
out
eh,
more
eh.
now. I've been doing it because I noticed
Wait,
that was a
wait,
thing you
mo-
had.
More now that what? So once every other month.
I've been taking them out of the cardboard.
So yeah, so
That's
he'll have one left. He'll have the one left in there, and it's just like why? Stack them instead of here double stack them.
So she would have like if it's 4 in a pack, there's
Well,
one
no,
left
I
in
buy-
the pack, so then it's like off kilter because it's
no,
Yeah.
still in
I
the
don't
cardboard
buy
pack.
4 in a pack. That's expensive. I buy
you buy the
the
eight,
the 8. That's,
the eight,
Oh,
the 8 in a
okay.
pack.
That's 8
But then
in a
just
pack.
slide the whole cardboard thing, which is fine. But when you get half
That's
of
what
them,
it's fucking meant
when you
for.
get half of them done, you take the other 4 out, you stack them, and you
No.
throw the
You should
She'll
have
leave them in there
last
until the
I
last
try
one.
stacking.
You do the
Yeah, but
same
who
thing
can't-
now.
But who gives
do.
a shit if it's in the
But
cardboard?
that
It
doesn't
cut-
drive me crazy. Even
Yeah,
even the bags of food don't drive me crazy. Actually, one day
I know what you go in the fridge
One
for,
day
so
I
I
said
try
to
to keep it
myself-
all in the same area.
One day I said to myself, you know what? She cooks. I can eat the food. If it's in a bag, I don't give a shit. Right? I really, I just think it's really weird.
Yeah.
More than anything, it's something I goof on her about. The saran wrap drives me a little crazy.
It does.
But you know what I do? I just cut through it. I'll use what I need, and then I'll just take a freaking piece of aluminum foil and just pop it on the top. F 'em. End of story.
Like I'm pretty sure there's
It's the
meatloaf in
freaking
here. I'm just
cat
gonna
food.
slice off an
That
end.
just-
Exactly.
Fucking.
Yeah.
It's not even something that drives me. It's just gross. It's like taking something that should not be in a human food environment and just freaking introducing a freaking outside element that should not be in there.
The only thing that bothers me about the fridge with Kevin is that Kevin forgets there's 3 other people in the house. So then when Kevin gets on a kick of something like his cold brew, it takes over everything. Like you bought all those there's no room in our outside fridge. If I ever wanted to maybe buy my own fucking shit to put in there, it's like Diet Coke and Kevin's fucking cold brew fucking galore. He's selfish that way. That's the one thing that pisses me off about the fridge is he'll buy in bulk, and that's and his monster drinks. That takes up like the whole fucking outside
Kevin,
fridge.
why don't you have just a fridge for that stuff? Because I'm sure you do get you said like the auto ship for Monster or whatever drinks.
Yeah.
So why don't you have a fridge just for that?
So a third fridge?
Yeah, like if you have that much.
What human has 3 fridges?
If you have enough stuff, I don't see why not. You could have 5 fridges.
I knew exactly where he was going when he said the word "what a third fridge." I'm
Yeah,
like,
but
wow.
okay, first off, who the fuck are you to ever say that when you have how many humidors? How many humidors do you have, Kevin?
Yeah, but those are for our cigars.
Oh, okay, really? You're gonna try to shame Jen when you have how many fucking humidors?
And we got 2 more monsters coming.
First off, we also need an ice maker because now we're buying bags of ice because
that's
he takes
us.
all
We
the
need
ice for fucking his cooler at work.
Not for
But yet he
cooler.
works
Ours just
like at a
doesn't.
gas
but
station
ours
that
doesn't
has
work.
fucking ice.
But why? Why do we need more ice? Explain to him why we need more ice. Because when we bought the fridge, it had the option because we have like whatever.
No, you
Hold on a second. So you have like the 2 big drawers and the sliding freezer underneath. There was the option to have a second ice maker in that sliding drawer. No, we don't need that. We don't need that at all. I'm like, we don't need that. Now she wants to buy an external ice maker to keep on the counter when the whole time we could have
because
had.
no
Maybe
human
that's what we
being.
need. External
No,
ice
because you know
maker.
what
No,
he
you need a
does.
refrigerator.
Yeah.
Most people just use the ice for their drinks. Kevin fills a fucking cooler.
Well, he
every
should be
day.
feeling a cooler out of your ice machine. That's when you need to go get a bag of ice
When
for
Jessica-
$2 from the gas
When
station.
Jessica did this a cooler.
Is it like
Yeah,
this?
he has a big bag cooler. No,
It is. Go get it. Go get it.
I'm
Go
getting
get
a
it. Go
fucking
get it.
cooler.
Go get it right now.
Your cooler
Go get
is
that.
a big
Oh,
ass.
it's way smaller.
Is
than
it like a
you're thinking.
little little
It's just a
handheld?
little one. It's like this big and like this. Go get that cooler. Oh, she's gonna feel. And get a towel. Your seat's all wet.
Ew, that's gross.
Well, Jen, he's not going to buy fucking ice when it's being made at home for free. That doesn't make sense. Why would he do
Well,
that?
if it's a large cooler, I can understand.
Kevin's cooler.
Jessica,
This is a normal size cooler.
Jessica.
This
can
is
you,
Kevin's
That's a pretty
cooler.
big freaking
Let's see the
cooler.
inside.
Open
It's
it up.
moving.
Okay,
Open it.
let's do that. Jessica, can you please get the cooler that I put ice in every day?
What cooler did I get?
Oh shit! I hope that wasn't Jessica's glass.
It was my glass, because Kevin's being a dick. That's what this is about.
Happy Mother's Day.
Yeah, happy Mother's Day, because he has the need to be right about something. That's all you put ice in. So why did you say cooler? Why didn't you say
What is
freaking-
this? This is a cooler.
That's
this
a
is
thermos.
That's a thermos. That's not a cooler.
thermos. That's
This is a
different.
cooler. This is.
That's not a cooler, asshole. That's a thermos. You also have to pick up glass that you broke in front of on our dog's fucking feet.
Okay, I'll pick it up afterwards. This is what I fill up with ice every day. This is it.
That's a thermos.
That's why I keep my
Yes,
Gatorade in.
thank you. That's a thermos.
Yeah. What do you call it?
I'm not saying anything. I'm still trying to figure out why the other 2 coolers
I
were
can't
brought into it when they weren't put ice when ice wasn't put into
I don't
them.
know. That one was a big one though. The other one
Yeah,
was a small
yeah.
one.
I don't. I put my breakfast in there. I put my food. No ice. No ice has ever been inside that
Do
cooler. in my
you
entire.
do ice packs in there?
No, I don't do anything. We have a fridge at work, so I just pack my breakfast, my milk, my
Gotcha.
juice inside that cooler, and I get to work and I put the whole cooler in the fridge. No ice packs, no ice, no nothing.
But you fill that whole thermos.
But then your ice go. What do you fill your
He
thermos
fills
with?
that whole all ice.
So just all ice, and then 2 scoops of powdered Gatorade, and then when I get to work, we have a water cooler. Then I fill it,
This is a lot. This
and
is
then I
huge.
fill it with. So this is what I drink all day at work.
Let's just give it context here.
Yeah, it's not that much.
But you
bigger.
got to
So, yeah.
remember one thing too. Since he's using powdered Gatorade, it's saving a shit ton more money than buying bottled
Who buys
Gatorade.
the Gatorade? I fucking do.
You bought it once the other day.
I buy Gatorade all the time. We
Are you
drink it.
Are you fucking serious?
That's one thing I need to buy on Amazon. We're now getting our core water from
Wow.
Amazon. Every 2 weeks we get a case of 24. And I wish they shipped it weekly because we go through between Joe and Kerr water drinkers, and Joe prefers core.
Here, I'll show you. I'll show you what I fill up with ice every day, and it's hold on.
So I need to order Gatorade because I do.
I take this into work, right? And I just fill this with ice. It's really not that bad. It has a spout.
Yeah, that's
The spout.
good.
It
Good.
spouts
Keep you
out.
hydrated.
And you feel that
Keep you
every
hydrated.
It
day.
looks bigger from the outside. It looks bigger from the outside. Not that big. Not that big. It really isn't.
I
This is
just
not the same
want
size
everyone
they
to
pour
realize
on game-winning coaches. I'm just saying.
that Kevin is doing the most. Let's just put it that way. He's doing the most.
So yeah, that's all I fill up with ice every single
That's
day.
a fucking lot.
Okay,
By
you're gonna
most
have to
people's
move.
standards,
That's
as
not-
much
okay.
as you may think it's not, it is a lot of ice that you are taking. And just because we didn't get a double fucking ice maker,
Now,
are you
how long does
fucking
it take
for
for
real?
your ice to refill in your freezer?
Mind
Our ice
you-
machine doesn't work in it all
Mi-
anymore.
mind
We actually
you-
buy bags of ice and pour it into our
Oh,
thing
that's
in the
what we
freezer.
have to do because it doesn't produce enough. And every fridge, because this is now our third motherfucking fridge, you can't blame it on the ice maker.
So sometimes it'll refill the whole ice maker in a day. Sometimes it'll take 3 days to fill up. So every now and then, like every 2 weeks, I got to buy a bag of ice
Right.
and then fill up the ice maker with bagged of ice. And then it's hit and miss. I should have bought the goddamn Samsung. Fuck Whirlpool. Fuck Whirlpool.
Well, and the problem too is like I buy a bag of ice, bring it home because it's starting to melt. It's refreezing in the holder in the freezer, so we have to get the freaking knife and chop at it
Or the
to scoop the
screwdriver.
ice or the screwdriver. But it's easier
Yeah.
for me to grab a knife because it's right there.
Yeah.
We just put the bag of ice in the outside freezer, and then when he needs it,
Yeah, it's like every.
I want to
it's
get
like-
a freezer for our garage. We need one. It's just the last thing I really would want to buy. It's not. At
I
the
wish
top of the
I
list.
have
wish I
my
would have
own
kept
one now.
my freezer. I wish I would have just kept my deep freezer. It was a stand-up one. It wasn't the
Yeah.
chest. It was a stand-up one. I wish I would have kept it.
I like to have
When
a
I lived
secondary refrigerator. I
Yeah,
would. I
it
mean,
would
that's
be.
well. Actually, I have my antique refrigerator. It works
Yeah.
fine. But I really want to work on a project where I gut this thing and turn it into a humidor.
It would make a great humidor. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Just because the whole cooling component in this thing, it's like, it everything's like 30 degrees.
Well,
Oh, wow.
Is there any way? Because I remember I'd mentioned that to Bones once about putting it on, and I don't know how well that would work on a fridge, especially an antique fridge. It's where it only came on for a couple hours a day or an hour a day.
We talked about that, but the problem
or did we?
is-
Oh, I can't remember if it was you and I or me and Bones.
The problem is that these refrigerators, it's basically everything goes through the very top unit, that very small freezer,
Yeah.
and then that gets cold and ices up, and then kind of keeps the rest of the refrigerator cold.
Oh, okay. Oh,
And then it's like it's just this big freaking horrific to do, and it's like if it would turn on for a few hours and turn off, that ice then would melt.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
the idea is like, is to be able to get maybe a couple of motors like you would find in the refrigerator humidors that really just like produce like cold air and blow it in.
So
In a smaller electrical units, like, versus a real cooling system, because those systems are a little bit more, they're not as booming and powerful as this is. I mean, it's a great refrigerator, but
Yeah.
man, it's just,
So what you need for that is a Peltier device, which is how a thermoelectric humidor works.
right.
It's a small ceramic disc attached to a heat sink.
Mhm.
And that's what produces. But then again, it wouldn't work in your garage. Like thermoelectric humidors don't work in hot environment. It needs to be. So yeah, Peltier wouldn't work on yours.
I keep my smaller refrigerator humidor out here in the garage, and
Yeah.
it still works out here. It's
Yeah.
just that during the summertime,
It struggles.
it does struggle, and
Yeah.
I mean it would be something that I would want to like. I would like to really, cause I watched a few different guys on TV redo these things, and I mean they do everything from just gutting it to gutting it, sanding it down, puttying all the freaking
Oh yeah.
dents, and then going and getting it like professionally sprayed and everything else. So I don't know if I'm ready to commit that much time to it.
It would be a beautiful.
But
humidor,
it's I
though.
mean it's a great shape and it works. I mean when we kept food in here, you know, at times in the refrigerator, you know, out here when we plugged it in, or beer when we had a couple of parties. We want to
Yeah.
keep extra beer in there. I mean, it works great. But I don't know. I got it for what? Not
You
even a
and
couple,
Bobby went
like
up to North
150
Carolina
bucks
to
in
get
North
it.
Carolina.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it would work better if it was in your house and you could unplug it, and then it doesn't have to be cool. You know, it could be a humidor in the house.
Yeah, and even it's out here. I mean, I want to, you know, kind of use a digital thermometer and see. It still gets pretty hot inside.
Yeah.
Um, it's definitely something that when you're gonna gut all this crap out of this thing, you're gonna have to have some sort of system. It's just, you know, that's not going to get so freezing cold
Yeah.
as these refrigerators did, because that's what it all relied on, was that unit up top getting so ridiculously frozen over and cold. You know, it just kind of keeps everything else cold just by that.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, and then when you unplug it, you gotta like let it sit somewhere at an angle so when it freaking
Defrost.
defrosts, it just leaks everywhere. You know.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm trying to tackle one project at a time here. You know, now it's just making sure that we get the cigars. I'm working on the boxes now, and trying to get that situated. So when we get the shipment coming in, I'm switching to 20 count boxes, not 10 count boxes. So we're trying to select the box type and
We're getting fancy.
Oh,
you know,
I didn't know that you were going to work on a box. You said something. Now these boxes, those are the boxes just for the retailers, right? Or these are.
No, actually, we kind of shifted a little bit. I was gonna have retailer only boxes,
Yeah.
but it just was getting too much, and you know, box factories now, especially in Nicaragua, they're so slammed. So, have you gotten? Did you get boxes of Amendola's cigars?
Yes.
Okay, you know how his box is. It slides and then sticks in the back. No hinge.
Oh no, I don't have that. I said the last couple he sent me were just your traditional.
Right. Yeah.
His.
His you know his boxes that he gets, and I've seen them before. I think Tatuaje uses the same concept too. It's 5 across, you know, 20 cigars. The box lid slides off,
Okay.
and then you can pop it in the back, and you know if you want to, and it's just that simple. It's that straightforward. That's what I'm gonna go with our brands.
Okay.
It looks great. It actually, by using this size box, I can get all 4 blends in an area where it would have been 2 boxes of my old stuff, 10 across.
Okay.
So it takes up less shelf space. You can pop the tops on the back. We're gonna go with our logos, the kind of the poster style 70s look in those logos.
Yeah.
And then the internal, and then when you pull it out, the internal picture is going to be this, you know,
Okay.
this poster style. So we're going to keep a little bit of the old look to it,
Some old and new.
but it's going to be more kind of newer with the way it looks. And you know, right now it's just trying to get that done, and working on a couple other projects as well. And then from there, it's like, you know, I may pick at this refrigerator from time to time and just kind of, I know I'm going to gut it, and then from there just decide what I'm going to do from there.
Yeah. That's always the first step. Just anything that I'm retrofitting, it's gutting it and then taking a step back. It's like, all right, where are we gonna go?
Yeah, and from
Yeah.
there, it's like, okay, do I just want to keep it as is and just maybe use? Um, I have cedar shelving, so I can put cedar shelving in there, which would be great, right?
Yeah.
So do I just want to use it like that and that's it, or do I want to put a cooling system in it from there? So first step is gutting and then going from there. If I
Yeah.
get bored on a Saturday, maybe I'll just do that.
Yeah. Cedar's so expensive right now too. It's crazy. For my last one, I end up going with a type of walnut because walnut's the only other thing besides cedar that you can use that will absorb the moisture and then release it. And luckily, 30 minutes away, we have a huge a lumber supply, specialty lumber supplier that ships all over the world. And it's just they live edge. The place I took you to, they have the live edge, lumber that you can make the tables out of, and so any type of little projects like that, it's nice just to be able to run up there and pick up some scraps.
Yeah, I mean it's. I have some shelves from another unit. I have some trays from my original unit I bought, and then our next step too is I got to get a bigger upright humidor that's refrigerated and humidification,
Yeah.
like a full size, like a big.
Oh
you know,
yeah.
The real deal.
Just the real deal. Only because in the South, and you know what it's like. I mean,
Yeah.
fighting heat and humidity in a freaking traditional humidor is like a freaking, it's like I got to put in fans so it sucks the hot air out, and making sure the cool air is circulated, and the humidification system. Where do I keep it? It's always a struggle, with the heat and humidity. It's brutal.
It is. My big humidor, I turned off my humidification device 2 months ago, and it's still fine.
Right.
I haven't had humidification in there in a couple months. So I just turned it off. I got tired of dealing with it.
We got
Yeah.
so much humidity, especially now in the heat.
Starting.
What I got the one that had like the analog hygrometer on top
Yeah.
that looks really pretty.
Yeah,
I
that
just-
doesn't work.
I
Yeah.
popped it out and just kept that hole open,
Yeah.
just for circulation. I mean, that's just,
Oh, yeah.
just for some sort of relief. So I'm like,
Yeah, because the heat, because a lot of people don't realize, cigars are always fermenting. They're always aging. So what's the byproduct of fermentation?
heat.
Heat.
Yep.
So once a week I'll open my humidor and just leave the door open for a couple hours.
Yep.
You just let it all bleed out, let it cool down, and then
Yeah, the ultimate goal would be to have a walk-in.
that's we have fought that and to have just build a walk-in humidor
Turn a
something.
closet.
I mean, I feel like we have the opportunity to do that
But
when
yeah,
we do the addition.
Yeah, I mean, you take a
So-
walk-in closet, when you can stack them to the ceiling, you can stack them. You have so much more room. But then we have two more electric humidors coming. We have two.
Yeah, I mean,
1200
that's all
count
fine
humidor.
and
Yeah, I
dandy,
know.
which we end up usually giving away anyway.
And not the big ones. They're crazy expensive to give away.
I mean, it could be local.
Yes, we got two monster units coming.
I mean, I understand that. I'm just saying we have an opportunity to
Yeah.
do something before it's set in stone in a sense.
Yeah. So.
And that might be the way to go. And just
Yeah.
have a walk-in.
How big are the ones coming?
One. I'm trying to think. They're both about 72. So both of them I think are almost 6 feet tall. From two separate companies. So I think they're both like 1,500 counts.
Really?
Yeah. So and then one of them is New Air's newest unit. They don't have a big one yet. So we got that one coming. And then there's another company that's trying to break into the U.S. market. So I'm trying to get them to send me their big one, which is another 12 to 1,500 count, and then send me a second 300 count to give away.
Right.
So yes, we've got we definitely got the new air coming, so that's that's on its way as soon as it hits here in the States.
Yeah, it's never coming in the house.
Yeah, and then we've
because there's no room.
I
So he'll have to wait.
You'll have to shoot me the name of that new company, because if they're breaking the market, they make a pretty good product. It may be something I want to look into to buy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll shoot you their Alibaba
Yeah.
page, and they're actually really their stuff's really
I mean,
nice.
Yeah, we're starting to look at them.
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, the humidors are great and stuff. It's like, but where are we putting all these humidors?
Yeah, I was talking to Ron Reel about it, Ron McCoy, and they have one that's a half, and it's a big stand-up one, about 6-7 feet tall. Half of it is wine, the other half is cigars.
Now,
Right.
you said there's a wine cooler.
Yeah, it's supposed to be, she's supposed to be getting a wine cooler as well to,
Yeah.
to unbox and review. So we got
And
that.
try that and see. I've never had
Yeah.
one. I don't know.
I think
It's
they're
kind of
I mean,
interesting to see how
A
it works.
refrigerator for your wine.
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah.
basically what it is?
Yeah, if it's a wine refrigerator, it's just the temperature settings are appropriate for
Yeah.
wine, and obviously the cigars. You can't. That's why you can't use a regular refrigerator for cigars. It just gets too cold.
Yeah, and it gets too cold, and then a lot of refrigerators, like I said, how they get so cold, they remove the
they
moisture.
remove moisture. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
that's the reason why you're always battling. Even the smaller units, you're going to battle humidity, humidification issues more so than just a regular humidor.
Yeah.
It's sometimes the battle's a little bit hard, because I know I battled mine for a while, but we're looking at especially in the South, a larger refrigerated humidor in order to maintain. Like now, when we get our shipments in, they're boxed, so
Right.
then they're cellophane, they're fine. But we usually do keep them in containers with the proper humidification in cool areas to keep them cool, because like Kevin said, I mean, it doesn't matter where how they're being stored or whatever, they're fermenting, so they're gonna be producing heat, no matter what they're in. So we try and we do keep all of our boxes of our cigars in a cool area that is properly humidified. It's just, I'd like to keep it all in one area
Yeah.
instead of our walk-in closet upstairs in the corner in freaking big containers with humidification system, and making sure that's usually somewhere around 69 degrees up there, in there, and then obviously the humidification is right where it should be, right around 70. But it's a struggle. So
I know we were keeping our stuff sometimes in a cooler in our closet.
Yeah, an igloo cooler.
yeah, exactly. And it's I'll go to Home Depot, and I'll get those real big long storage containers.
Yeah.
And it's nice because they do they seal, but not like perfect sealing, but they still allow airflow, which is what you need in a humidor too. You need airflow. It just can't be like this complete freaking sealed unit, and it's just, it sucks through the humidity, the bags, or even the crystals that I use in there. So I like to keep everything under one roof. And the other thing too is the new factory with Chris, is that he does have a bonded warehouse up in Philadelphia as well. So in the future, we'll be able to keep all of our product at that bonded warehouse.
Nice.
Now, is it a bonded warehouse just for cigars, or is he storing up? So is it a climate controlled?
It's for the cigars. It's climate controlled. It's good to go. And then what's nice too is with taxes, is with a bonded warehouse, you don't pay taxes up front.
Yeah.
You pay as you freaking sell and as you release them from that bonded warehouse.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's definitely nice not having to pay all that tax up front.
And even if tomorrow, if they passed any tax laws where it would cripple a lot of people from bringing in freaking product, for us, we would be able to ship it there, and we wouldn't have to pay those taxes up front, and then we would just pass along the taxes, the cost, obviously, to the buyer. But it wouldn't be one of those things where it's like, okay, here's your freaking 20,000 cigars. We need $80,000 or whatever the hell it would be, and that's
Right.
one thing that really makes things more secure. And I think helps any cigar manufacturer or owner, but especially when you're at my size or even a little bit bigger, a big shipment of cigars could freaking just kill you because you got to pay all that money up front.
Yeah, that's what one of our local shops, Bill, he has a brick and mortar, and he also has his own line of cigars, and he'll bring in a container, an intermodal full of cigars, and he pays that up front. He goes before they even release it. He goes, I'm not allowed to touch it until I prove that I paid the taxes on it. So he strokes that check right from the beginning, and then they deliver all of his cigars, and it's like God, and it's 500,000 or so cigars.
But you know what though too, like when I had my cigars made in Honduras, and when other people make their cigars with other companies, right? So that tax is built into the cost of your cigar.
Okay.
All right.
So when you hear people going, I got a fucking stroke of tax, you're not paying out of your pocket. I'm not getting these cigars for free, and I just didn't get a free pass on the taxes.
Yeah.
So whatever you did with that money when you got paid, fine, whatever. But at the end of the day, when those cigars land and you got to pay money to release those cigars, that money's already been paid, at least for my cigars. So if you're paying a $40,000 freaking tab for taxes, and if out of my cigars, maybe 7,000 of those dollars are my money or whatever, or maybe 5 or 1,000, whatever, I don't want to hear the complaints because it wasn't like you're doing this because we're friends and we're buddies and that you're just giving me a free pass on taxes. I paid for them.
Yeah.
It's built in a cigar. It's like, okay, I'm charging X amount of money for cigars, and then we got to freaking take into consideration X amount of taxes. So your total price is going to be this per cigar. And then when you add boxes and whatever else, that adds up the price. But, that's the kind of shit that's paid up front. So if the tax law went into play, then I would be, a $2.90 cigar now would be a freaking $4.90 cigar because you have to pay X amount of taxes. So that's where it would put a lot of guys like me completely out of business. And would really cripple even some of the smaller to mid-sized, cigar brand owners. So, when you hear some of these complaints and whines, I'm like, well, you're getting paid for it, unless it's your product. When it's your product, then, just like me, I don't like paying that much money in taxes on cigars because it's ridiculous, especially when they want to jack up the prices or the taxes the way they want to. I know. And kind of just like pigeonhole everything insofar as tobacco. But it doesn't matter if we're a very small percentage of the business. When they look at how much taxes they can make, people don't think, man. They just they go for the money.
That's it. It's easy. Tobacco, alcohol, that's guns, that's easy money.
It is because you know what? The one thing when we were in Pennsylvania, when they would start jacking up the freaking taxes, the sales taxes, another tax on cigarettes, I'm like, people are still gonna buy, man. They're still gonna buy, and you're not only fooling yourself, but I think you're fooling the community by thinking that you're gonna control young smokers by jacking up the prices of cigarettes. I'm like, no,
don't underestimate them.
You're making more money. You're making more money on taxes. You know what you're doing. You're using this whole facade in front that you're gonna try and reduce smokers because you're gonna price this product so far out that they're not gonna want to smoke. They're gonna smoke. And in Pennsylvania, they started smoking loose tobacco because that wasn't taxed.
Yeah.
And then Pennsylvania went back and started taxing the crap out of that. So
I don't know. When I was a cigarette smoker, I don't even know how I afforded to smoke cigarettes.
Find a way though, right?
Yeah.
I did. I had my cartons. I had my cigarettes. I wasn't without.
Right.
And even when they kept jacking them up I remember one time when I was living in New Jersey and New York, it was like $12 a pack. I still paid for it.
Same here.
Yep.
It's the same with gas. Most people don't even know how much cigarettes are. Some people don't know how much gas is. Some people don't know how much alcohol is. You want it, you just buy it.
Yep.
You don't care.
Yeah, and you don't realize how much taxes until you go from state to state and you realize how
Yep.
much money and how much tax is being freaking levied on
Well,
the gas.
Right. I do notice that when people come and shop at my store and they're like, oh, why was it that much? Well, you got to pay tax.
Yeah.
Don't know how much tax you guys pay, but, it's 7% here. Like,
Yeah.
you got to pay it.
Right. Well, we have
Sorry.
gas here is like it'll be $2.25 a gallon, and up in Pennsylvania it'll be like $2.80.
Right.
And I'm like, well, that's because you guys, you're getting a shit ton of
Getting
taxes.
taxed. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're getting
like
taxed.
we got the one guy at work, Eric. He'll come in. He's like, "Oh, you know how much gas is? I just filled up." I go, "No, I don't know how much."
Yeah,
gas
I don't know.
is."
I need it, so I just fill my car
I
up.
just pull in and I just
don't
just
care.
fill up my gas tank. I don't know. And then when the bill comes each month for my gas card, I just pay
Yeah.
it.
I mean, I just pay it
Yeah.
because I need it.
Yeah.
Like obviously, like we consistently go to the same gas station because we need gas, but it's like we just take care of our vehicle.
Yeah,
Just put gas in it.
Yeah, and the price shoppers for gas. They have these apps. Who's got the least amount of, or
Yeah.
least price on gas?
Yeah.
And people don't understand. And I try and tell them as a mechanic. I go, you put cheap gas in your car, your car will show it. Because I can tell when I tear apart your engine.
Yeah.
If you've used cheap gas or if you've used cheap oil.
The one thing I did know about you, I didn't know when I started dating you, was when you're filling your gas tank up, like, you know how people keep clicking until they get to like an even number or whatever, no sense. You just let it stop. When it stops, it stops. It's it. Don't keep clicking the gas.
Yeah, it's bad for your car.
Just pull it out.
Keep filling it up. When it stops, it stops. Your car is full. Stop doing that. Stop. Click, 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 click.
I didn't know
Yeah.
that. I used to
Yeah.
be like, until it got to, a no change number.
Yeah.
So it was interesting.
No, just when it stops, that's it.
Yeah.
Like our show.
Right.
Yeah, that's it. So
That's it.
so on that note, I'm Kevin.
I'm Jessie.
I'm Kerr.
I'm Jen.
And remember,
Bullies
make good
friends.
From Kev, Jess, Kerr, and Jen, we are the Broadleaf Bullies. Thank you for joining us, and remember, bullies make good friends.